वाकय अमृतं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपगदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश नमः। ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांता स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees to our series of classes on Bhagavad Cosmology. So in the previous classes, we were discussing from 5th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, starting from chapter 16 to chapter 20. And then we also started discussing from Bhugola Varnanam, a book written by Srila Vadra Tirtha. From that, we have seen some of the missing points from Srimad Bhagavatam about the structure and construction and cross-sectional view of the entire Bhumandala. So in the previous class, we saw that the Bhumandala, which had the three divisions, Loka Varsha, Loka Mountain, Aloka Varsha, which they call as circular earth, Vrtakara Prithvi, Ganodaka, the region of darkness, Andatamas, the region of darkness, and Ganodaka, the solidified water region. So then we saw that the Ganodaka is actually Garbhodaka ocean, and Loka mountain is actually stemming from the Garbhodaka ocean. The Andatamas is actually a pit inside the Garbhodaka ocean. And then the Vrtakara Prithvi, the circular earth, is actually like a terrace type of structure, like as shown in this picture. So like here is the Mount Meru, the Bhumandala appears to be like a inverted conical structure. And it is carried by 8 elephants, Shesha and Kurma, who is floating in the Garbhodaka ocean. So that's what we saw in the previous class. And then we saw that the sun and moon are all in line with the line of equator of the earth globe, so that they go up and down, because of which we experience the phenomenon known as Uttarayana Dakshinayana. So that's how they say. The more important thing is that if the Bhumandala is not like this, the day and night concept all over the Bhumandala cannot be explained if the Bhumandala is flat. So in order to experience the day and night throughout the Bhumandala, consisting of 12 hours day, 12 hours night, the Bhumandala should be like a inverted conical structure, which is known as terrace type of structure. So like that, they give some of the explanations in order to accept this kind of presence in Bhumandala. So then this is what we discussed, that how day and night is happening because of the flat in terrace type of structure of the Bhumandala. If it is flat, it should be daytime everywhere. Since it is like this, when it's in the right side, left side is dark. When it's in the front, back side is dark. When it's in the left side, right side is dark. When it's in the back side, front side is dark. So like that, the entire Bhumandala will have day and nights. And then we saw that in Jambudvipa, there are 9 divisions. The 9th division is known as Bharatavarsha, in which there are 9 islands. Though some of our devotees in the past have kind of indicated like this, but we discussed that they will be like this. These are the 9 divisions. The 9th division, which is almost touching the ocean, is actually our Bharatakanda. and a kind of understanding is given about these 9 divisions. This is Bharatavarsha. This is the Greater Himalayas, whose height is 10,000 yojanas. Bharatavarsha width is 9,000 yojanas. Since there are 9 divisions, each division is about 1,000 yojanas in width. Here to here 1,000, here to here 1,000, here to here 1,000, here to here 1,000, like that. All widths are 1,000 each. Heights are gradually increasing. This is 1,000, this is 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, and Himalayas are 10,000. So that the entire things looks like a gradually decreasing order. It looks so that it looks beautiful. And here to here, it's like a kind of what we can say, half the circular disc. That kind of arrangement we can think of. Half circular disc, as you can see here, half circular disc. Like that, all of them we can think of. The same now we are seeing from this side. If you go here and look, they only the 9th one and 8th one, they will be looking like this. So it is like that. The 9th one, which is our Bhartakanda, earth globe, is taking support of a pillar on which it is standing. And this is the 8th one. So this is how a kind of picture they have shown in the book, Bhugola Varnanam. Since at least in the Bhagavatam or Vishnu Purana directly, these are not mentioned. There could be some other scriptures. They may have many details, but as of now, we know this much only. And so we are trying to show some examples, some inferences that, okay, yes, there could be a conical column below here. The satellites, the rocket, the flights which they send, the scientists send, the mostly are in the horizontal direction, maybe on the upper side, but the flights may go around the earth on the upper side. But the downside, we don't have any well-known current examples, live examples, that even today also things are going downward or they are sending rockets to the downward, etc., etc. So other thing is that the lower part of the hemisphere of the earth globe is, most of the water is there in the lower part, and most of the water is in solid state in the Antarctica region. So there could be a column. People visited that place also, they observed that okay, flight routes are not there, but people who visited also, they observed that there are so many huge ice columns. So one of the ice column could be acting as a support for the entire earth globe. So like that, some what you can say, the most probable propositions or assumptions are made by the translators of this book known as Bhugola Varnanam, which was compiled by Silavadara Tirtha about 450 years back. And the translators, he did recently only 70s, 80s, 80s, 90s, I think. Professor Badarayana Murthy, he is one of the Madhva devotee, born in Madhva family and then grown up and then lived a life of Madhva devotee. So he is the one who translated this and he added his own understanding also. So these are some of the references from his understanding also, his notes in that translation. So like that, we have seen, and as we mentioned in the past class, today we'll continue with one important question which everyone has. Why the Mount Meru, bigger Himalayas and Jambudipa are not seen by us, which are very close to us, but we are able to see the stars, planets, which are very far in the night time and all. So this is one of the questions since morning, since the beginning also many devotees are asking, where is the Mount Meru, where are all these things? So Bhagavatam talks about so many things, then we should be able to see them. Then only we'll accept. That is our general understanding, general criteria of acceptance. So now let us try to understand what is the concept behind all these things. And this is also from Bhugola Varnanam. So we also added some of our inputs, but the source information is coming from Bhugola Varnanam only. So before beginning, so any devotees have any questions based on what we discussed in the last week? Hare Krishna, devotees have any questions based on our last week discussion?
Which is not in classroom.
Okay. Others? No questions? Fine. So we'll continue with the discussion. So here, our Madhva scholars, they say that the answer is simple. Adrushya Datava Sarve Samutpanna Jaladaya. Because they differ in composition. Though the 14 planetary systems within our universe are made up of, are composed of the same 5 gross elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether in specific, are same 24 elements in general. But at least from the gross visibility point of view, earth, water, fire, ether are the elements which are there throughout the entire universe. But sometimes these elements will become adrushya. They become invisible. That's why we can't see. Some simple examples, they may not be exactly as it is, but for us to help us understand what do you mean by sometimes it is visible, sometimes it becomes sadrushya. What is that? So before entering that, here, while answering, the Madhva scholars are also cross-questioning the one who is asking this question. Whoever is asking this question, why we are not able to see all these things. The cross-questioning is, the question of the question is, will our scientists ever get over the human tendency of succumbing to pride and prejudice in order to know the truth? Why you only depend upon Pratyaksha only? Unless until you show, I will not believe. Why only on this? Will they use a little introspection to shift from the mere physical to the spiritual? Why you want everything to be revealed or understood by physical means only? Why not something by spiritual means? Let the wise build up a growing community to save the world from the darkness of materialism. Let them hold the torch of spiritual light. Let there be a renaissance or reconciliation of the religious culture based on revelations. Let there be reconciliation between the science and religion, so that we'll have proper understanding. So now, how to understand it? Some examples. I just, as per my little understanding, I have mentioned 3 examples just to correlate how to understand that same thing sometimes becomes visible, sometimes becomes invisible. So water, when it is solid state, we can hold it and see and feel. It is liquid state, we can see it, feel it. Oh, in order to hold it, we need to have a patra. Otherwise, it will not. But the same water, when it is evaporating, it is very difficult to see it. In the hot summer, when the water is evaporating from the water bodies, will not be able to see that. The same water element only, changing its properties when it is changing its state. Similarly, dust, when it is solid, we can hold it, feel it, and see it. When add with water, you can feel it and see it, but holding ke liye thoda sa mehnat karna padta hai. But when the same dust is thrown into the ether, normally we don't see, but when we are in a dark room, when there is a small window which is open, the sunlight is coming in that sunlight, we'll be able to see some dust particles moving up and down. So like this. Now, this is the most correct example. Third one, gold, most relevant example. In the material world, the gold is completely jada, fully lifeless. The gold, what our Matajis wear, and even Prabhujis also wear in terms of bracelets and rings, etc., etc. They are all jada, lifeless. The gold in the spiritual world is completely chinmaya. It is full of life. It can converse with the Supreme Lord. There is no difference between the golden ornaments and the personality of Godhead and other living entities in the spiritual world. Everyone is full of consciousness, full of chinmaya. So we'll take something in between, which is not completely on the Bhuloka, which is like completely Jada, nor in the spiritual world, Vaikunta, which is completely Chinmaya. We'll take Svargaloka. In heaven, the gold is in subtle state. It is neither completely lifeless nor with full of life. It is Chinmaya. It has some ability to manifest or unmanifest as and when required. So, one example, like when Kunti Maharani prayed for different devatas so that she will have children. So Indra appeared on his Airavat and blessed Kunti with a son known as Arjuna, and then Indra disappeared. So when Indra appeared, he appeared along with his Airavat, along with his garland, garments, ornaments, mukut, etc. all these golden ornaments. When it disappeared, all the golden ornaments also disappear along with him. This we cannot see in our place. In our place, our people might be wearing the golden ornaments, but when they die, their gross body is left behind. The golden ornaments are also left behind. And the gross body and golden ornament does not have the potency of becoming invisible and again visible whenever they want. That is not there. They're always static as they are. So it's like that. So just like golden ornaments have the same features as that of Indra, when Indra appears, his golden ornaments also appeared. When Indra disappears, his golden ornaments also disappear. Same way, the Devatas abodes also have this kind of characteristics. Normally, Indra is not visible to Kunti Maharani, even though he may be around. But when there is a need of interaction between Kunti Maharani and Indra, or anyone, any human being and Indra, there is a visibility. The invisible in Indra becomes visible. And they'll be able to converse. And when Indra becomes invisible, all the ornaments and clothing also becomes invisible. Similarly, the abodes of the Devatas are all in the invisible state normally. But when they want to show us in order to bless us or for some reason, then we'll be able to see them, not always. So Mount Meru, Greater Himalayas and other things, all these things that we can't see in the Bhumandala, since they are all part of Bhauma Swarga, normally they are not visible. When it is needed, they will be visible. So it is like that. This is the one of the reason that the Mount Meru or the Greater Himalayas or all the other mountains does not block the sunlight. Though they are there, we can't see them. They are like a transparent mirror. So many times mirror is there, but we don't realize. We go and bang. So it is like that. That is the understanding. We can see why these places are not visible. So then how we can make them, how we can be able to see them? So one more example we can think of is from Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna. So having heard in the chapter about different vibhutis of Supreme Lord, Arjuna asked that, is it possible for me to see that universal form with which you enter into this universe? If I am qualified, will you please show me? By suitable means, Lord Krishna says, Natumam Shakshe Darshtum. So, Divyam Dadatte Chakshu Pashyame Yoga Maishwaram. So, I'll give you divine eyes, the Devata like eyes. So, Devatas can see the universal form always. Human beings cannot see. So, Arjuna supposed to get the Devata eyes, the eyes of the Devatas like that of Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu. So, with those eyes, he can actually see the universal form. The Lord Krishna gave him that eyes, and with those eyes, he saw the universal form consisting of all the Devatas. So, like that. That is the reason, though we are here, but though Greater Himalayas and this mountain, this Meru, all these are nearby, and sun is here, these mountains are not at all visible to us and they don't block sunlight. They are all subtle in their nature because since everything is part of Bhauma Swarga. It seems that there is no clear mention of that. The other 8 kandas of Bharata Kanda also becomes invisible to us. We can't see them and they don't block sunlight, which is coming to the another half of the earth globe. This side of the earth globe, anyway, they will see sunlight. So when sun goes like this, but other places, we don't know. So in order to little strengthen this claim a little bit more, there is a narration that comes in Mahabharata, Nala Damayanti Swayamvar. So in that Swayamvar, when everyone was invited, the Devatas were also got the information that there is a beautiful girl known as Damayanti and they wanted to marry her Samayamvar Dhanjan. So Devatas come to that ceremony in the previous one day before the Samayamvar. So in the evening, they somehow unknowingly they caught Nala. They told him, you go and give the message to that princess, the prince, not princess. So that we Devatas have come from Swarga, she should marry one of us. Otherwise, we will do something. We'll curse or something like that. So Nala himself dressing like a spy, he goes into the inner chambers and informs the princess. The princess said that please kindly convey the message to the devatas that I have already chose Nala as my husband, not to create impediment on my desire. With humble request, and let them allow me to marry to Nala and then bless me with Nala and then return. For which the devatas becomes angry. Okay, let us see which Nala they'll marry. So next day morning, the Swayamvar ceremony, all the devatas appeared in the form of Nalas. So there are so many hundreds of Nalas are there in that Swayamvar. So when Damayanti came, she understood that devatas are trying to play a trick with her. She requested all the devatas, my dear sir, please forgive me. Please reveal your forms and bless me so that I will marry with Nala. Then they wanted to test the Damayanti. Okay, we want to test you, identify who among all of us is the actual Nala so that we will not trouble you. So then Mahabharata says, Damayanti then beheld all the gods who are not perspiring, who were with fixed eyes and spotless garlands around their necks and seated without touching the earth. The devatas have this peculiar behavior. They don't perspire. They don't blink their eyes. Their garlands never fade. If the garland is fading, that means they are done with the heavenly Trinity. They will fall down, and they don't touch the ground even while sitting on the Vyasasan. They don't touch. And then she, on the other hand, saw Nala standing preeminent with his own shadow, unlike the Devatas, full of perspiration and with floral breaths, stained with dust, and was also seated on the ground with blinking eyes. There is only one person whose eyes are blinking, who was nicely seated on the asan that was given to him, and then whose eyes are blinking, who's seated there, whose garland is actually faded since morning was standing in the open area. So then his whole body is perspiring because it's already noon. So morning se noon tak baithe the. So and another, in addition to all these things, one more thing also mentioned. He is also casting shadow because it is the open atmosphere. His body casting shadow, but all the other nalas are not casting shadow. By non-casting shadow, Damayanti recognized who is Nala. All the devatas felt happy and then give her marriage and they left. So like that, here one point we get it is, the devatas don't cast shadow. Nala casted shadow. So devatas bodies, devatas abodes, they don't cast shadow. They act like the transparent via medium, like a glass. A glass acts like the transparent via medium. When sunlight is coming, it will go through the glass. So that's how Mount Meru and Greater Himalayas and all the things, though they are there, they have become like glass. We don't have, so it's like that, transparent glass. That's why we don't see that sunlight is blocked by Mount Meru or all these mountains, other mountains, etc. So then our Madhva translators, they get into another kind of cross question. We speak of suns and solar systems within the millions of galaxies. The modern science is talking about so many solar systems, so many galaxies. Every galaxy will have one solar system like that. The present theories. Have the scientists found at least one more solar system within our own galaxy? If galaxy is so big, so many lakhs of stars are there, they could find at least one more suns are there. We also speak of the galaxies of different types. Are there any galaxies seen in the southern celestial hemisphere except the two Magellanic clouds? So down below the South Pole, are there any galaxies or Milky Ways or nebulas? What the scientists have observed is all nothing but two kinds of cloudy structures. They call them as two Magellanic clouds. So is that much only. Then they say that if not, what is beyond there to the south? If the scientists are not able to find so many stars like they are finding in the north, they are only finding two types of Magellanic clouds. Then what is that? For the information of scientists, it may be said that what the scientists are calling galaxy is nothing but clusters of divine vehicles, clusters of millions of the divine vehicles, whom we are calling as stars. Whatever stars we see every night from the surface of the earth are nothing but the abodes of the devatas, the residents of the Bhuvarloka and Swargaloka. Every personality will have one Vimana, every personality will have one chariot. Just like Kshitraketu Maharaj, when he performed severe austerities, when he had darshan of Lord Sankarshana, he then eventually he became the position of the king of Vidyadharas. He was given an airplane to travel in that Vimana. So it's like it. These are like star-like planets, which are the abodes of Yakshas, Guyakas, and the other devatas who are living in the Bhuvarloka and Swargaloka. Though they are situated in one cluster, they may differ in dimensions. The understanding is that one of the understanding, as per my little understanding, whatever I have heard, the way the scientists are measuring about the distance between the earth and the stars is either through parallax method or through magnitude method. I don't know more details. The magnitude method is like that. So one understanding, one assumption is that all the stars can be compared to the sun. So we know the details of the sun, brightness and magnitude, etc. In comparison to that, the twinkling stars appear to be very small. So even among them, some of them are smaller, smallest, and a little bigger, like that is there. So when the brightness and magnitude is more, so assumption is that they are nearby. When it is somewhat middle, they are little far. When it is low, they are very, very, very far. Like that they say. But in reality, they are all together. For one example, if Indra calls all the devatas for a meeting, the moon god is going from the moon on his chariot. When moon god is going along with him, his minister, wife, servants, army, they all come. Everyone is following moon god in different chariots or different animals. So when they come, they should be attracted to Supreme Lord. So there is one more reference from Mahabharata. It says that when Arjuna, following the instruction of Vyasadeva and Yudhishthira Maharaj, goes to Himalayas and performs severe austerities for 6 months like Dhruva Maharaj, he eventually had darshan of Lord Shiva after having a small fight with him. He attained Pashupatasra. Then Lord Shiva tells him to go to heaven. At that time, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Yama, they appear to our Arjuna and tells him to come to Swarga. Then Indra sends his own chariot driven by Matali. So now both Arjuna and Matali were going to heaven, starting from the Himalayas, from Kailash. On the way, Arjuna saw something interesting and he was sharing his understanding with Matali. Arjuna is saying, Arjuna, the intelligent descendant of Kuru, with a delighted heart, coursed through the welkin in that car of wonderful deeds, resembling the sun in its form, and coming within the view of the pious mortals. Arjuna espoused thousands of chariots of wondrous make. There did not see the sun, the moon, or fire. Basically, it says that when he went towards Swarga, he is not seeing the sunlight. Instead of that, everything that is there shining brightly. Whatever is seeing there, everything is brightly as bright as sun. There was no need of sunlight, moonlight, and fire and all here. It says that, but it blazed in its own light, begotten of virtue and ascetic merit, and those brilliant regions that are seen from the earth in the form of stars, like lamps, too small on account of the distance, though very large, were seen in their own spheres by the son of Pandu, full of beauty and brilliance, and shining in their native splendor. There he saw royal sages of accomplished piety, and who had been slain in battle. So basically, these, the brilliant, brightly shining things are all either chariots or vimanas, which were the residents of the heavenly beings, and are also the residents of the pious brahmanas who led a pious life, Nishkama Karma Yoga. They will be promoted to Svarga. They will be given one of the airplane or vimana. They will enjoy there. Even Kshatriyas, when they are died in the battlefield, they will be promoted to heaven. So they will be living in this Tarakas. Jitvava bokshise mayim hatova prapesi swargam. So in that way. So and those who had obtained heaven by their devout penance, hundreds and thousands of Gandharvas shining in effulgence like the sun, and also the Guyakas, Rishis and various Apsaras, beholding these self-effulgent regions, Falguni stricken with wonder, accosted Matali, who gladly replied, saying, "These are the pious persons, O son of Pritha, situated in their respective spheres, whom you have seen, O Lord, from the earth in the form of stars." All those people who are residing in the stars are all the pious people, either Brahmanas or Kshatriyas or Vaishyas, something like that. And they are residing in this brightly shining abodes, but you are seeing them from earth as the twinkling stars. So it's like that. Yan drishta avanasi vibo tara rupini bhutale. From Bhutala, my dear Arjuna, you are seeing all of them in the form of taras. Ete sukritinaha prapta sveshu dishneshva avastitaha. Dishneshva avastitaha. So it's like that. Because of their piety, they have obtained all these abodes which are brightly shining on their own pious merit. But you are seeing, you seen them, all of them from earth as Tarakas. So that is the understanding of Tarakas. What are the Tarakas, etc. So the modern scientists have found the stellar distances, some comparison. They say that Alpha star is the closest star to our sun planet. It is located at a distance of 4.22 light years. So which is equal to 3.072 trillion yojanas. 4.22 light years is equal to this much. One light year is equal to the distance of 9.5 to the power of 12 kilometers. This is the value of one light year, which is approximately 728 billion yojanas. So 4 times that is 4 7 ja 28. So it's almost 3.072 trillion yojanas. This is the distance of the closest star according to modern science. And they say the pole star is located at a distance of 433 light years. But according to Srimad Bhagavatam, from Bharatakanda, the pole star is located at a height of 3.8 million yojanas only. Abhi, if 4.22 is 3.07 trillion yojanas, then 433 would be 300 trillion yojanas. That is the distance of pole star according to modern science. So now let us see. According to Bhagavatam, what we have studied, the inner radius of our universe is 250 million yojanas. And we also have Loka mountain in between. So Loka mountain begins at 41.1, ends at 123.3. So worst case on the peak, it is going outward. Assume that. So maximum what we can see is to a distance of 100 million yojanas. And we also saw in the past that whatever we see in the night time, everything is located within the Loka mountain. That means everything is well within 100 million yojanas according to Bhagavatam. Whatever we see, everything should be within 100 million yojanas. So here you see, from center of Meru to the beginning of the mount, Loka mountain is 41.1. To the outer point is 123.3. The topmost peak is the center, it is 82.2. But nearby round figure, we take 100. So, and from here to here, height is only 3.8. If this is 82.2, this is 3, it will be 82.2 only. It won't change much. But at max 100, whether here or here, you see almost here or here, everything should be well within 100 million yojanas, not more than that. So then, where from these big numbers are coming? That could be the question. One answer they give is, since these Tarakas and all the other Grahas, all the other things are situated in the Borloka and Swargaloka. We as human beings, as the residents of Bharatakanda, do not have complete access to the objects in the upper planetary systems. Even though we may try to measure through our modern equipments, since our bodily structure itself is not fully equipped properly, our measurements have limitations. So that is the way they kind of give the explanation to this. So this is the shloka which says that everything that we see in the universe, in the entire night, is located within the Loka mountain. Sa Lokatrayante Parita Ishwarena Vihito Yasmat Suryadinam Druvapa Varganam Jyotirgananam Gavastayo Arvachinam Stri Lokan A Vitanvana Na Kadachit Parachinana Bavitum Ustahate Tavad Na Nahanayamana. So none of these things go outside, none of these things spread their light outside of the Lokaloka mountain or above Dhruvaloka. Their brightness is only restricted to the 3 lokas. It does not go anywhere outside. So that is the understanding. Here Sa stands for Lokaloka mountain, which extends all the way up to 3 Lokatrayante. Excepting the conservatives among the scientists who have built up prejudicial complexes in themselves, all other great scientists have admitted the limitations of human knowledge and history for them. So these are the concluding statements of our Madhva scholars. So this topic, they conclude with this statement. So then, our spiritual Srila Prabhupada says in one of the purports that, oh, we have so many mountains on the earth also, so many mountains in the universe also. Though they are talking about those so many dimensions, how many we measured here? Here also we have gigantic mountains. In the universe, there could be bigger dimensions also. Why not? Therefore, be satisfied with the statements of authorities like Sukadeva Goswami. Appreciate how Lord Section Energy manifests the cosmos and be happy. Even if one want to examine through experimental knowledge, one can neither verify nor disprove the statements of Bhagavatam. So ultimately, we have to accept the statement of the Bhagavatam in spite of performing so many experiments. Just accept and be happy. So why to spend so much time in that like that? Srila Prabhupada says. So that was the whole idea about what it is and how to see why these things are not visible to us, etc. So then I added some references to give an understanding that yes, they were actually existing. It is not that since just because we are not seeing, so we cannot deny their existence. Though we are not able to see, but in the past many have seen. Many had access to all these different places. We quickly browse through some of the examples and then we take questions based on this part of the presentation. So we take references essentially from Bhagavatam, then eventually Mahabharata, Ramayana, etc. etc. So one example is about Parikshit Maharaj. This is Bhagavatam first canto 6th chapter. When Yudhishthira Maharaj made him the king and they all went to north, then Parikshit Maharaj immediately in order to do his Vijay Yatra, he traveled all over Jambudipa. Bhadrashwamta Ketumalamcha, Bhadrashwamcha Ketumalamcha, Bharatam Uttara Kurun. The 4 directions of the 4 and other thing, and also in between also. Kimpurushadin Varchani Vijite Jagrihe Balim. He traveled all these places and established his monarchy over all these places. That means Parikshit Maharaj could travel to all these places and also he was the ruler of all these places. He is the king of all these places. Even Yudhishthira Maharaj also was ruling over all these places. Sampada Kurtavo Loko Mahishi Bratara Mahi Jambudipadipatyam cha Yashasya Divangata. Jambudipadipatyam. Even Yudhishthira Maharaj is also monarch or king of the entire Jambudipa. So then, those who have read Mahabharata from the beginning to the end, they can actually correlate with this. When Pandu Maharaj was cursed by that sage, he took Madri and Kunti and he actually made his residence in the greater Himalayas. That is where he used to live. And there he begot Yudhishthir, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sevadeva. and even they grew up 14 years in that particular place. On the day of Gaura Purnima and the 14th appearance day of Arjuna, by the way, Arjuna and Mahaprabhu born at the same time, same tithi. In the month of Falguna, on the full moon day, evening 6 p.m. when sun is setting and the moon is rising, that was the time Arjuna also born. On that particular 14th birthday, Pandu died with an intention of uniting with Madri, and then Madri entered Sati, and Kunti Maharani came back to Hastinapur, etc. And eventually so many things happened in their life. Even when Pandavas wanted to perform Raju sacrifice, the 4 Pandavas went in 4 directions. At that time, Bhima went in the east, Sahadeva went in south, Nakula went in the west, Arjuna went in the north. He traveled all these places. He went to Kimpurusha. He also went to Harivarsha. When he went to Harivarsha, of course, we have some pictures. So here Pandu Maharaj, he was living in the greater Himalayas. So Arjuna was going to the north, he fought with Bhagadatta and then eventually went to the north places, all this thing. Then they performed. Then when Arjuna went to, what is this place? This place known as Harivarsha. Then all the leaders of all these places, they came to Arjuna. They asked, my dear son, what is the purpose of you coming here? Arjuna said, my dear sir, my elder brother want to perform Raju sacrifice. We want all of your acceptance. Everyone was very happy. They gave a lot of gifts to Yudhishthira Maharaj, accepting him as their main monarch. Arjuna got a lot of wealth and also he got the name known as, what is that? Dhananjaya. Even when Pandavas were in Vanavas, at one point of time, Arjuna went to Sargaloka after getting the blessings of Lord Shiva, Pashpadasara. Arjuna went to Sargaloka. This is Raju sacrifice. So this is what Arjuna got Pashpadasara after fighting with Lord Shiva. So then Arjuna went up and all the Pandavas in anticipation to meet Arjuna immediately. They wanted to go to Upper Himalayas, but they cannot go on their own from Bharatakanda to Upper Himalayas. Then Bhima requested his son Ghatochkat to help. It is Ghatochkat and some of his Rakshasa friends carried the 5 Pandavas and Draupadi and some of the other Brahmanas from Bharatakanda to the greater Himalayas. Because they could not go on their own. Because Arjuna received a special mantra from Vyasadeva event. So just like that, they could not go. But during Raju sacrifice, Arjuna went to these places. How? That is because he had a divine chariot which was given by Agni. So in the divine chariot, Arjuna could fly in the air. We could go all the way up to Harivarsha also. But it was the need of the hour, he used it. But this time, because they are living like a Vanaprastha, so they did not use all the facilities. But they took the help of Ghatochkat. So they went to Himalayas. So while Arjuna was learning weaponry in the Swarga, here they were living, the remaining Pandavas and Draupadi were living in the greater Himalayas. So they visited all the holy places, etc. Then one day Draupadi found some golden lotus flowers, requested Bhima to get more. When Bhima was climbing towards the upper part of the mountain, he saw an old monkey and that entire interaction we know. Eventually, Bhima could not lift that monkey and Bhima begged forgiveness. The monkey revealed himself as Hanumanji and Bhima requested him to show the bigger form and bless him to reside on the Dwaj of Arjuna's chariot and also join with his loud shout, so that there will be fear in the opposite army, everything he receives. Then Bhima asks, I am coming here to get some more lotus flowers. Then Hanumanji shows that go this side, that side you have the lotus flowers. Don't go further, because here is the last point for the Bharatavarsha residents. From here it begins. The territory of this Himalaya mountain belongs to Kimpurusha Varsha residents. That means both of them met each other on the peak of the Himalayas, in the middle of the Himalayas. So, like that. So then Bhima went and collected lotus flowers. There he was swimming across in the lake. Yakshas came. He fought with Yakshas. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj came and begged forgiveness from Kuvera. Kuvera took the Pandavas to Alakapuri. The Pandavas stayed there for few days, few months, few years or something like that. So like that, so many things happened in the Upper Himalayas. Eventually, when 5 Pandavas were going back, Swargarohana Parva, the pastimes of falling down of Draupadi, Nakula, Sahadeva, Arjuna, Bhima all happened in the Upper Himalayas only. So like that, most of the events in the Pandavas' life, they all happened in the Upper Himalayas. And both Parikshit Maharaj and Arjuna had ability to travel all over Jambudipa, and Yudhishthira Maharaj was the emperor of the entire Jambudipa. They would, if required, they would travel, otherwise not required, they would travel for no reason. So like that. So some references in relation to the places where Bhima went also. So this is from 4th canto 6th chapter, when all the devatas and brahmanas were injured by the Virabhadra and other Bhutapita Pishashas and Yaksharaksasas sent by Lord Shiva after Mother Sati was burnt alive. So devatas went to Brahma, Brahma took them to Kailash. On the way to Kailash, they saw Alakapuri, the abode of Kuvera, and also Saugandhika forest, where the Pandavas went and Bhima went to get that lotus flowers which Draupadi wanted. These are the same thing. And also this is from 410, Dhruva Maharaj. Going north, Dhruva saw the city of Yakshas, Alakapuri, followers of Lord Shiva, in the valley of the Himalayas. He went to Alakapuri to fight with Yakshas, who killed one of the Yakshas who killed his brother Uttama. So in that way. Bhumandalam Jaladi Mekala Makalaya, Kalopasrishtam Vitiva, Prayav Vishalam. Considering that the whole Bhumandala surrounded by the oceans would all be destroyed by time, Dhruva went to Badrikashrama. Though Dhruva was blessed by Lord Vishnu to rule over the entire Bhumandala for 36,000 years, he ruled. And then he thought that, okay, there is no point in continuing here. One day it will go into end. He went to Greater Himalayas, Badrikashram. There he performed severe austerity. That is where the Vimana came from spiritual abode and then took him to the abode of Lord Vishnu. This pastime also happened in the upper Himalayas. All these pastimes happened in the upper Himalayas. Arjuna fought with Lord Shiva and performed austerity to please Lord Shiva here in this Kailash mountain, the foothill of the Kailash mountain. Then Kardama, along with his wife Devahuti, traveled in the valleys of the Mount Meru in his aerial mansion. To please his wife, he created an aerial mansion. They traveled to all the places of Mount Meru, all these places. He took his wife Devahuti, so they could travel all these places happily. Then at one point of time, at Mount Meru's foot, as Sudumna entered Sukumara forest, he saw that he had become a woman and his horses had become mare. So Sudyumna, the first son of Shraddha Deva, the Vaivashta Manu. So once he was he went on a hunting excursion. They came, all of them, they came here. They all transformed into female. Even the male horses are transformed into female horses. That all happened in this Sukumara forest, which is very close to Sumer mountain, because Lord Shiva put a condition there. That reference is from the 9th canto 1st chapter. And upper Himalayas are those mountains where so many other pastimes also happened. It is there Mother Parvati performed severe austerities with intention to marry Lord Shiva. She married Lord Shiva. And eventually it is there Parvati gave birth to Ganeshji. She manifested herself, Ganeshji. Eventually Skanda was born, Kartikeya was born through the union of Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati, there only in the upper Himalayas. And Ravana was humiliated in the upper Himalayas. Once he was on victory march, he wanted to uproot Kailash mountain and throw it away. When he was about to lift that mountain with his two palms, Lord Shiva pressed tightly. So he began to cry loudly. All the three planet systems were trembled by that cry. That's how he got the name Ravana. Before that, he was generally known as Dashagriva. Even Bhagirath Maharaj and his forefathers, in order to bring Ganga down, performed tapasya in this greater Himalayas to please Ganga as well as to please Mother Ganga as well as Lord Shiva. Even Ganga held by Lord Shiva and his jata here in the upper Himalayas. So Bhagavatam says that from Surya dynasty, one king known as Maru. From Chandra dynasty, one more king known as Devapi. Devapi, the elder brother of Shantanu Maharaj, who initially married Ganga, later on married Satyavati. And Mahabharata, we can understand this. And currently these two are performing austerities in Kalapa Gram, which is one great village in the greater Himalayas. It is there only Lord Kalki will appear eventually. Though in the Bhagavatam, Prabhupada writes Sambalpur like that, somewhere in Bihar and all. But actually, Lord Kalki will make his appearance in Kalapa Gram only. It is in Kalapa Gram, even today also, Narayana Rishi is starting from Simon Mantra performing austerities. It is there in Kalapa Gram. Narada Muni approached Narayana Rishi and asked the question, How the Vedas, which are generally that describe topics of in three modes, can describe the absolute truth, who is beyond three modes. As an answer to that, Narayana Rishi quote the conversation that took place between the four Kumaras and the sages of Janaloka, Maharloka, Tapaloka in Janaloka about the prayers of the Vedas personified. So that all happened in the upper Himalayas. Even Daksha performed yajna at the foothills of the upper Himalayas. Even though today those who visit Rishikesh and Haridwar, there next to Haridwar there is a place known as Kankal. When we visit that place, the local people, the local priests, they say that here Daksha yajna happened. Here Daksha's head was cut. Here Sati committed suicide, burnt herself. Here all the so many things they show. But actually, this Daksha yajna happened in the greater Himalayas. So in that way. And Vasudeva eternally resides in the, I mean, at least in the current time, in the current Kali Yuga, he resides in the upper Himalayas in a place known as Badrikashram. That is where Madhvacharya met him also. But all these places have also a replica in our Himalayas, which are there in the northern boundary of India. Here also we have Badrikashram. Here also we have Badrinath, Narayana Rishis. Here also we have Sambalpur. Here also we have Kankal. All these things, Kedarnath, so many things are there. The local priests, they say that here only pastime happened. But actually the pastimes happened there. These are all replica places. Since we cannot go to the greater Himalayas, even just by visiting the local Himalayas, we can get the benefit of visiting the greater Himalayas. Lord Shiva personally resides in the greater Himalayas, but Lord Shiva's deity is being worshipped in the Indian Himalayas. That is in Mount Kailash or Manasarovar, etc., etc. Even we were discussing in the previous class, the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu all happened in the heaven. But Ahobilam is a place revealed to our Garuda. At one point of time, Garuda was listening the pastimes of Supreme Lord in the assembly of the great sages. So that day they were discussing about the appearance and activities of Lord Narsingadev. So having heard all these pastimes, Garuda became curious and astonished. I have accompanied all the avatars, but I have not accompanied this form of the Lord. I want to have the darshan of that Lord. Please tell me what should I do? They suggested him to come to Bhartakanda and perform austerities here on the Srishila mountains. So that is where he performed austerities and he had darshan of Narsingadev and he had darshan of the entire pastime of the Lila. Then he requested Lord Narsinga, you please remain here so that people in the future will be able to see you, have darshan of yours. So being requested by Garuda, Lord made himself manifest in the Ahobilam. That's what we see today. So different other pastime places of the Prahlad Maharaj also. So like that, all those things in that way we have to see. So when Madhvacharya wrote commentary on Bhagavad Gita, he recited this commentary to Badrinath in our Himalayas. When he again go to rest in the night, he hears an unembodied voice calling him, come home, come here, I want to talk to you. Next morning, Vyasdev goes to upper Himalayas. He meets his spiritual master Vyasdev there. And Vyasdev instructs him to go down and give commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Madhvacharya came down, gave commentary on Sutra and propagated all over India. Then again he went to upper Himalayas to report him back that he followed the Seva. Then again Vyasdev tells him, now this time go and give commentary on Mahabharata. So then again he came and gave commentary on Mahabharata, but did not go back again. At least 2 times he went and met Vyasadeva. So then here you see, we'll go a little bit backward, Ramayana. So in Kishkinda Kanda and Sundara Kanda, where of course very soon we are going to have Ramanavami, the appearance day of Lord Rama. So by the request of Lord Rama, Sugriva creates 4 search parties and sends them in 4 directions. When he's sending them in 4 directions, he tells that those monkeys who are going to east, when you are going to east, first go towards north. When you see the Mount Meru, then to start towards east. There you will cross 7 dvipas and 7 oceans. After crossing that, you will come to a fiery land. A land looks like the fiery, but it is not fire. It looks like a fiery. It does not create the heat of the fire because it is golden in color. Gold is fiery color. That is actually Swarna Bhumi. After crossing that, you will see a land which is filled with a lot of Jadrupashilas. It is actually diamond land. After crossing the Jadrupashila, you will see Shesha holding the entire Bhumandala, then come back. That's what we have seen in the previous picture. Like at this point, the Bhumandala becomes zero thickness. When you go here, look downward, the Shesha will be holding the Bhumandala below. So Sugriva says, after going there, come back, don't go further. And then those monkeys which are supposed to go towards north, it tells that go to the other edge of the Jambudipa. So when they go to Jambudipa, in the saltwater ocean which is surrounding Jambudipa, there they will get to see 3 cities made up of gold, silver, and brass. When you see those 3 townships, 3 cities brightly shining, come back, don't go further. Though for those monkeys who are going towards west, when you go towards north first and then come to Mount Meru, then take left, go towards west. When you see the ocean, come back, don't go further. And for those monkeys who are supposed to go towards south, here Hanumanji says that here Hanumanji is not search party. Hanumanji, Jampavan, and all, this is the party. He says that when you go towards the south, if you go to the end of the Bharatavarsha, end of Bharatakanda, there you see the ocean, surrounding the ocean which is around. In that ocean, there are so many islands. Among them, one island is Lanka. That is Ravana's abode. Most probably, he might keep Sita in his own abode, or he may keep somewhere else. When you go that side, when you see Lanka, if you are able to find Sita in Lanka, fine. Otherwise, you go further. When you go further, you get to see, as you go downward below the Bhumandala, you get to see Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Patala. You can go all the way up to Patala. After crossing Patala, you will get to see Narakaloka. That is only meant for human beings. The monkeys are not supposed to go to hell. So when you see Narakaloka, please come back. So like that, Sugriva informs the entire geography of the entire universe, at least the Bhumandala, to the 4 search parties, where to go, how to go, etc. So like that. This was the golden land and diamond land. So that was being indicated there. And in addition to that, some more examples that in the 9th canto, 4th canto Bhagavatam, we see that so many kings have ruled over the entire Bhumandala. Kings such as Swayambhuva, Manu, Uttanapada, Dhruva, Anga, Vena, Prutu in the 4th canto, they ruled over the entire Bhumandala. King Maruta, he was known as Chakravarti. King Ambarish Maharaj, Saptadeepa Adipati. King Mandata, Saptadeepa Adipati. King Sagara, he is also Chakravarti. Lord Rama, Bhuvaneshwara, is also Lord of the entire Bhumandala. King Puru, the son of Ayati, he also became the ruler of the entire Bhumandala. King Bharat Maharaj, son of Dushmanta and Shakuntala, he was also Chakravarti. Kartavir Arjuna was also ruler of the entire Bhumandala consisting of 7 Dipas. And like that, all these people ruled over the entire Bhumandala. Then here comes the Sagar Maharaj, who had was ruling over the entire Bhumandala, who had 60,000 sons. Where is the Sagar Maharaj? King Sagara here. So his 60,000 sons, who were very proud of their prowess, following the orders of their father Sagara, searched for the lost horse. While doing so, they dug up the Jambudipa everywhere, all around Jambudipa, and also downward by 70,000 yojanas up to Patala. In the Ramayana, the entire story mentioned very clearly in detail about how the Ganga appeared in this world. It is actually our Vishwamitra Muni was talking to Ram and Lakshman when they are in the one. Like Vishwamitra Muni takes Lord Ram and Lakshman to kill Tataka and Maricha Subhavu in that section of Balakanda. So he says that initially, if father told search over the Jambudipa, they searched. Then said no, there may be underground dig around. When they were digging all over Jambudipa, they created so many islands around it. One of them Lanka also. Then he told them that dig downward. You are 60,000 people. Dig one yojana each. They dug for 60,000 yojanas downward. They could not find. Again, they went back to father. They informed father, my dear father, we could not find. Father told, dig further. Then they divided themselves into 8 parties. They went in all 8 directions. There they came to the 8 elephants. They requested the 8 elephants. Have you happened to see this one Indra stealing a white horse? The elephants spoke in an enigmatic way. they all came back to the starting point. Then they discussed. They need to go downward, but little bit northeast direction. Then they went downward all the way up to Patala. That is where they found the horse in the ashram of Lord Kapila. Because they went through a lot of hardships, they thought Lord Kapila is the one who stole the horse and sitting in meditation here. They wanted to kill him. So because of that offense, they found fault with the Lord. They are burnt alive by the Agni element. So that all happened in the Patala. So sons of Sagar Maharaj could go up to Patala. Even Amshuman went there to bring the horse back. They could go. So there are few more things also. When Bhima was given poison by Duryodhana and thrown into Ganga. So following Ganga, path of Ganga to this tunnel. Then eventually, in order to deliver them, Bhagirath Maharaj bring Ganga down to Patala, path of this tunnel. So when Bhima was thrown to Ganga, following the same path, Bhima came all the way up to Patala. It is there in Patala. He was given that ambrosial nectar by Vasuki, one of his relative, and he became so powerful. That happened here. Even when Arjuna was in 12-year Vanavas, he was taking bath at Kanyakumari. That time Ulipi saw Arjuna wanted to marry him. Ulipi dragged Arjuna down to Patala. There they married and they had a son, Iravan. So, Iravan or Iravan, whatever, I don't remember. And later on, in the folk tales of Ramayana, it said that at one point of time, because of the Indrajit's weapon, all the monkeys, Rama and Lakshmana, everyone became unconscious. So one Rakshasa took Rama and Lakshmana down to Rasatala Loka and he kept Rama and Lakshmana under secret chambers. So Hanumanji searching after Rama and Lakshmana came all the way here, killed that Rakshasa and then took Rama and Lakshmana back to Lanka. That pastime also happened through this tunnel. So like that. And there is a discussion about this tunnel in Ramayana when Hanumanji was jumping across going to Lanka, Kishkinda Kanda, I think. Sundara Kanda in that episode. It is said that when Rama was going towards Lanka and the air, a real journey. So Ocean God was speaking to Mainaka mountain. Oh, best among the mountains, you have been positioned here by Indra as an obstacle to the demons living in Patala. So because of this tunnel, the Asuras who are living in this lower planet system, taking the help of this tunnel, always going upward and creating trouble to the people on the Bhumandala, creating trouble to the people on the Bhuvarloka and Svargaloka. So Indra requested Mainaka because when Indra was cutting off the wings of all the mountains, Mainaka begged forgiveness and she said, I will not come out of the ocean. Then Indra did not cut the wings of the Mainaka mountain. So he requested Mainaka that you please stop that tunnel, block the tunnel so that Asuras will not come up. So Mainaka was blocking the tunnel. So now Sagara, the ocean god, requesting Mainaka that, oh, you have been positioned here by the request of Indra and did not cut your wings in reciprocation. So now you please go up. Hanumanji is doing the mission of Devatas. Assist him. He is flying in the air long time. Give him some resting place. So even though standing on the entrance of the Patala, which is difficult to measure, by covering it completely, you are stopping them from rising up. So the tunnel is blocked by the Mainaka mountain. So that entire pastime is there in the Sudarakanda. For more details, you can read from Ramayana. So like that, like this, so many pastimes we can take the reference that we can understand. No, we may not be able to see, we may not be access. But in the past, many people visited there, many people had access, many people had a control over all these places. We cannot deny their existence. It's like that. Finally, the summary slide. Therefore, the access is getting limited from Satyayuga to Kali Yuga. All the rulers who were ruling Satyayuga, Treta Yuga, the two yugas, they were the rulers of all over Bhumandala. In Dwapara Yuga, they were ruling over Jambudipa. In Kali Yuga, after Parikshit Maharaj, there was no qualified kings who can rule over entire Jambudipa. Initially, they were able to rule over entire Bharatavarsha. Later on, Bharatakanda. Later on, a small segment in the Bharatakanda. Today, we have so many small segments in the within Bharatakanda also. Things will reduce as time progresses. Tatachano dinam satyam, dinam dharma satyam saucham kshama daya kalena balna rajan, nangshati hayur balam smriti. All these things gradually reduce. In Satya Tirtha Yuga, they were ruling over the Bhumandala. In Dwapara Yuga, they were ruling over Jambudvipa. In Kali Yuga, they were ruling over Bharatavarsha and Bharatakanda, and then eventually much less than small division. But that is one of the reason we are not able to see all these things in the Kali Yuga. Since we are born and brought up in Kali Yuga, we are not qualified to see all these things. In the past, they were qualified to see and visit and do all the things. But we are able to see the planets and stars which are very far to make our Panchanga and predict the necessary events so that we can guide the events in our life for our purification. Whatever we are doing, everything is based on Panchanga, and Panchanga is made based on the positions of the planets and constellations. The positions of the planets with respect to the constellations and zodiac signs. Only they are seen. In the sense, we are seeing sun means we are not seeing the sun planet as it is. We are only seeing one aspect of the sun, that is the light and heat that is given by the sun. Even the moon also, we are only seeing the light and the coolness that is given by the moon. Not the people who are living in the moon. We are not able to see the full moon, with full aspects. Only one aspect of all these sun, moon, constellation, zodiac signs, and the tarakas we are able to see. We don't know which taraka, which kind of past person is there. That we don't see. Only the brightness that is coming out of the taraka we are able to see. That is only to help us make the Panchanga, and which helps us control our daily activities and progress in our spiritual journey. So these are the few things from Madhva scholars, and also from my little understanding of Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata, just to give some supporting evidences. Yes, all these things do exist, but we are not qualified to see. Unfortunately, we are born in Kali Yuga. Hare Krishna. Any questions based on this discussion till now?
Prabhuji, this stars we are told that they are vehicles of the like higher beings, but they are appear to be always fixed. So why do you call as vehicles? They like it appears that they're
No,
fixed.
they are not vehicles. They are actually their abodes. Just like all of you are living in Pune, we are living in Bombay. They are our residential abodes. So later on in the next presentation, we'll see that the stars are very huge things. Like that, some people who are wealthy, they have farm, about 100 acres. In the middle of that 100 acre, they have farmhouse with all the amenities, all the facilities. So like that, the stars dimension vary from half yojana to 100 yojanas. One yojana is about 13 kilometers. Half yojana means 6.5 kilometers to 1300 kilometers. That would be the size of the stars. That much is the place given to them. They are being served by so many other personalities in the heavenly abodes. So they are not just either they could be chariot kind of arrangement, they could be like aeroplane kind of arrangement, that like that of Kardamuni created for Devoti. So they are their residences, as long as if some of them who go from earth to Swarga by piety, they live there as long as their piety allows, and the local residents, they live for 1 Manvantara period. So it is like that. For us, you may think that they are fixed. They are not fixed. You see the stars in the night time around 8 p.m. in the east. Again, you see in the morning 4 a.m. they will be in the western side. All the tarakas, all the stars, they make one round every day. They complete 360 degrees over 24 hours. All of them make one complete round every day. They are not stationary. They keep moving always. In fact, we are stationary. Bhumandala is stationary.
Yeah, I meant to say that they are not vehicles, and like if they were vehicles, then they would have followed their own path. But that means they are fixed, like they have a fixed path. They move.
Yes, that is
And
that
they're
is
like planets. They're like not planets, but as you said, residential quarters.
yes, that is true.
And they also emit this light. It appears, and so they have their own light.
Yes, they have their own light. That light comes because as a result of their piety. That is also mentioned in the later part of the presentation.
And probably this sun, Surya Dev, we see that he's continuously following one particular orbit, right? And moon also. But then sometimes we see like is Surya Dev coming also. So what happens that time? Like Suryadev is present on Earth during Kunti, he's meeting, or Moondev, Soma, he goes somewhere. So who is there at that time on that planet giving the light?
See, it's not like that. It is actually a kind of system. See, for example, हमारा पूना टेम्पल है, पूना टेम्पल का एक प्रेसिडेंट है. So president and management committee is there, and management body, all these things are, they are like looking after the management of the entire temple activities. That is the system, and they are there supervising the system, and everyone is doing their respective duties. And the temple president, all the devotees, they are also preachers, and they'll be invited to some other temples here, there, etc. And they go there and do preaching and come back. That doesn't mean that the temple maintenance is not happening here. The system will be working on its own. And in between, they can go here and there and do the needful other things also and come back. Like that,
Yes,
the sun planet keep traveling in its orbit. If sun has to go here and there, he himself will go. The system will not be stopped. The sun planet is giving light. So it is like that.
Yes, thank you.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Can you please show us in a picture that where is Badrikashram as we are currently visiting on Himalayas, near the Himalayas, which is
So
upper
what we are
Himalayas?
visiting in the Himalayas is a replica of the main Badrikashram. The main Badrikashram where Vyasdev stays, where Narnar and Rishi are staying, that is in the greater Himalayas.
And what we are seeing here currently, that
The
Himalaya
main
mountain.
Badrikashram is somewhere here. See,
Okay.
the main Badrikashram is here.
Okay.
And what we visit is here in India.
Hmm.
This is a replica of this Badrikashram. And Lord Shiva is residing here. A replica of Lord Shiva's abode is in India-Nepal border, that Manasarovar.
Okay.
Kailash.
Okay.
So
Okay.
these replicas were created, or it was by someone, or it was already as when the it was created by sages.
The replicas are manifested by the request of a devotee.
Okay.
I gave the example of Ahobilam.
Yes.
Ahobilam manifested by the request of Garuda. So all these replicas are also manifested by the request of some devotee. So we may know some of them, we know, we don't know. If you go visit all these places, when we hear Thala Purana, we'll understand who is the reason behind the manifestation of this replica.
Okay, yes, thank you.
For example, we have Govardhan Eco Village. We have Vrindavan in Govardhan Eco Village. That has been manifested by the request of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj.
Yeah.
So like that.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hmm.
This in between one statement was shown that Dhruva Maharaj, he understanding that Bhumandala is surrounded by an ocean and it will be destroyed. So he went to Badrikashram. So I could not figure out how Bhumandala is surrounded and by which ocean.
Prabhuji, आप शुरू से था क्या क्लास में? Were you there from the beginning?
Yes, Puja, I came 5 minutes late.
No, not today. From the beginning means since last Monday.
Yes, yes, I'm there, Puja.
No, Bhumandala is consisting of 7 dvipas and 7 oceans.
Well, that is Jambudvip, no, Puja?
Hare Krishna. What is Bhumandala?
Bhumandala is that all 7 verses combined together are called Bhumandala, no?
7 verses कहाँ से आ गया?
Sorry, 7 dvipas.
7 dvipas combined together is called the Bhumandala. Matlab in the Bhumandala, he is staying in Bhartakanda and Bhartavarsha, and that entire place is surrounded by all these oceans. This entire, he was the ruler of the entire Bhumandala.
Correct.
He ruled for 36,000 years, as said by Lord Vishnu, who Darshani had. He could continue further also. He could live there eternally also. There is no barrier for him. There is no condition he should not live. But he thought that anyway this Bhumandala is going to end at the end of the day of Brahma, or at the end of a Manvantara. It is subjected to Pralaya. Why should I be attached to this? Let me go back to God. Enough. enough is enough with the ruling over the entire Bhumandala. So now I have to go back. He made his son Vastara the next king, and he went to great Badrikashram to perform Vanaprastha duties. And that is where the Vimana came with Jaya and Nanda Sunanda, and they took him to the abode of Lord Vishnu. So it that like that you have to understand.
So he talked about saltwater ocean.
Prabhuji, Bhumandala means there are 7 Dvipas surrounded by 7 oceans, Prabhuji.
Correct.
So basically, Bhumandala surrounded by oceans means the Bhumandala consisting of 7 Dvipas surrounded by 7 oceans.
Oh,
This
yes.
entire Bhumandala will be subjected to annihilation at the end of every Manvantara. Why
Correct.
should I become attached to that?
Yeah, understood, Prabhuji. Clear now.
So like that. So don't go literally. I mean, in the sense you have to read between the lines also.
Correct. Today one devotee he told me to ask, because he was, I think, hesitant, but his question sounded little logical. He was asking that when Bhumandala was put into Garbhodak ocean, then this salt water, sugarcane juice ocean, butter, yogurt.
They are also gone. They will be again remanifested next time.
Okay.
See, that is the concept of renunciation, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Concept of renunciation means.
Okay.
Concept of renunciation is.
See, हम हमारा घर पे रह रहे हैं, हमको पता है 60 साल के बाद मरना है, तो घर के प्रति अटैचमेंट नहीं बढ़ाने का, घर पे रहते हुए भी घर से डिटैचमेंट रहना चाहिए, डिटैचमेंट रखना चाहिए. सो मरने के पहले संन्यास ग्रहण करने का, वानप्रस्थ नहीं तो संन्यास ग्रहण करके घर से निकलने का.
Right. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Yo, that is understanding.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, earlier you mentioned about the distances mentioned by modern science is far greater than what is there in Bhagavatam. So I wanted to ask about this distance between sun and earth, what is mentioned. Sometimes it is told that it matches with the Vedic astronomy.
Not
so
sometimes, all times it matches. That is correct.
that
See,
is correct.
some distances are okay. It's not that every distance what science is taking wrong. We have taken only example of the stars, the concept of light years, that only we compared, not everything. Don't generalize the statement. Not that everything science says is wrong. These particular numbers are not fitting in the concept of Bhagavatam. It's not everything.
Okay. What else matches, Prabhuji?
Abhi, what else? Matlab, I don't know what all they are telling. This also I have not taken. This is from directly our Madhva scholars are stating this.
Okay, that moon
I
distance.
just imported directly. Most of the data I just imported from that book only. These
Distance.
numbers anyway, they are from Bhagavatam, but they say, but so they are talking about Shalarishnus so far, but it is not so. They are all supposed to be very well in the close proximity only. So that was the statement in Bhugala Varnam. So how much proximity? I just made this figure and then put the dimensions, numbers and all according to our Bhagavatam study. So it's like that. The planets are supposed to match exactly as it is, but the stars, which they are talking about them in the form of stellar distances, are not not fulfilling the criteria that is mentioned in the Bhagavatam.
So the moons and moon and other planets is matching, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay, so that means moon is what they are saying closer compared to sun. That is correct only.
Correct only. Moon is close by.
Okay, because sometimes we hear Prabhupada also saying that no, moon is farther.
Okay, how Prabhupada is saying moon is far, why Prabhupada is saying moon is far is a different context. That is a context based. Don't generalize that statement. We will discuss that today only on the second part of the presentation. We'll discuss that.
Okay, and size of moon also, probably like what the science says, that is like for us we see moon as bigger. So Vedic astronomy and this same thing, science, modern science.
Yeah, same.
Size of moon is okay.
अभी distance उतनी दूर में तो size भी बताएंगे ना, वो भी same रहेगा. But the problem is that our scripture says some numbers and science says some numbers. We try to equate with them without understanding what the scripture is saying, what the science is saying.
Okay.
So what number they are talking about in that context, if we don't understand the properly, we are actually comparing a wrong number.
Okay.
So that makes
The wrong analysis it will be.
wrong conclusion. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji.
So it's we should understand what Bhagavatam is talking about, even, and what other Puranas are talking about, and what modern science are talking about. If they are equal parameters, we have to compare. If they are different, we should not compare. That is not proper.
And Prabhuji, this picture which you are showing on the screen, I heard somewhere that the Jayadev Goswami's song, the Shavatar Stotra, there that song is actually depicting, because it says Chiti, that word is coming there, Chiti. So that they have said it to be Mandara mountain, that song. But Chiti, generally I heard that it means this either Earth planet, or it should mean actually Bhumandala. What clarification for you? What is the right?
Yes, that pastime is all about this Kurma, who is becoming the lifter of the Bhumandala. Even if you see the sequence of the pastime that are mentioned in the Dashavatar Sutra, the first pastime is about Matsya, second pastime is about Kurma, third pastime is about Varaha, fourth pastime is about Narsimha, fifth pastime is about Vamana, sixth pastime is about Parashurama, seventh is about Lord Rama, eighth is about Balarama, ninth is about Lord Buddha, 10th is about Lord Kalki. That is actually talking about the chronological order of the pastimes. If the second is Kurma, but the pastime of Samudra Manthan happened Lord Narsingadev ke baad hua tha, after Narsingadev. So Narsingadev is fourth one. Then Kurma should have been the fifth one. How can he kept in the second one? So Lila ka hisab se dekhega to should understand that. Even that entire shloka does not have any indication about Mandara mountain and then milking milk ocean, churning, nectar, halahal. None of those terms are used.
Correct.
But the Samudra Manthan is a well-known pastime. The translators have given the translation in relation to Samudra Manthan pastime. That is what we have to understand.
What is their reference?
Whose reference?
Translators.
Simple. This pastime is not well known. That Kurma is old in the Bhumandala is not well known pastime. But Kurma acting as a base for the Mandara mountain in the churning of the milk ocean is well known pastime.
Okay, just like that. Okay.
Simple.
Okay.
Even today also, everyone whoever talks about Ahobilam, they say that Ahobilam pastime yahan pe hua tha. The mass people understand the pastime happened in Ahobilam only. Only some people who get into the details, they will say that yahan pe nahi hua. Sirf this entire place is revealed to Garuda only.
Okay.
अभी किसी का गलती नहीं.
Yes, unintentional mistake.
Okay. So it is like that. But since we are studying little deeper, so we need to try to extract the what is the actual things. So like that.
Yes, please.
For a normal reader of Bhagavatam, it's okay. चलेगा. अभी भगवान का कथा सुना, भगवान के प्रति आकर्षण बढ़ा, बस उतना काफी है भगवतम जाने के लिए.
Yes. Correct.
Abhi, if you are interested to study this topic in detail, so you need to spend time and understand, excavate the actual reality, etc., etc. At the same time, we should not criticize. Okay, वो ऐसा बोला, वो गलती किया, वो wrong है, ऐसा नहीं. चलेगा, उतना काफी है.
Correct.
It's like that.
Okay.
Correct. Prabhuji, Bhugol Varnana, when we say Prabhuji, Bhugol means he mentioned that the Bhumandala is goal or entire universe is goal. What is that?
Now the again problem. See, what do you mean by goal?
Goal round. I speculated it as round.
Don't speculate. Open the Sanskrit dictionary. Gola means it could be sphere, it could be disc, it could be circle.
Okay.
According to context, we have to take the meaning of that word Bhugola Varnanam. Bhugola Varnanam is specifically Bhumandala description. In general, the entire universe, but in specific, the Bhumandala. So now, what do you mean by Atma?
Mind, body, intelligence also.
Atma to soul hoga na? Mind body kahan se aa gaya?
Yeah. Context.
So like that. So when you listen one Sanskrit word, don't take one meaning. You have to take the meaning according to the context. So it is like that.
Prabhuji, Hanuman this you said also that sometime in the different previous yugas, our our what is this called? This Earth planet, people used to rule the entire.
One second. Earth is not planet. Never ever make a mistake of calling Earth as a planet.
Okay.
There are only 9 planets which are called Navagrahas. The 7 grahas corresponding to 7 days in a week. Surya, Chandra, of course, Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn are Surya, Chandra, Mangala, Buddha, Guru, Shukra, Shani, and Rahu Ketu. These 9 are the grahas. Or if you want to use English, you can call them as planets. There is nothing called as Earth planet.
Okay. So we say Boo. This is Boo. What we
Not Boo, Bhartakanda. You call Earth globe as Bhartakanda.
Okay, Prabhuji. So Bhartakanda, the rulers used to rule the entire Jambudvip in some yuga, and sometimes only Bharatvarsha, and sometimes the entire Bhumandala. So just I had a clarification that human beings ruling over the people who have more pious credits in terms of, because they come and remaining all other Varsas and they are all heavenly planets, no Prabhuji. So they are ruling over so not heavenly planet, heavenly places. So they are ruling over those beings who are more pious than us. I was thinking in that way.
Okay.
Could you help me understand how that happens?
Okay. Now I'll ask you one simple question just to help you understand. You are living in which place?
NVCC, Pune.
Okay. So in Pune temple, there are so many brahmacharis. And Pune temple also connected to so many Guru Maharajas. Okay. So many devotees are there. Is Pune city is ruled by some of the devotees who are living there, who are spiritually at least on a higher state? If not some of us, but at least our Guru Varga, our authorities are spiritually on higher consciousness. Are they ruling, or Pune is ruled by the local district collector and MLA MPs who are ruling?
Yeah, MLAs, MPs local.
It's like that. And thing is that even though the entire Jambudvipa, entire Bhumandala is there, the most of the places are all Bhauma Swargas. All those places are meant for the leaders will be engaged in devotional service always, and other people are going there to enjoy. Okay. But the Bharata Varsha is the special place, which is actually Karma Bhumi, which is more appropriate for one to take up bhakti and go back to Godhead, which is the place meant for Varnashrama Dharma. So here the rule is required. Here people need to be informed. You have been born in a special place. You need to utilize this opportunity to go back to Godhead. For that, there is a constant governance is required to provide Varnashram Dharma intact so that they will be able to practice Bhakti, Jnana, Yoga and go back to Godhead. So that's why the rulership has been given to the people of Bharatavarsha. Even though they are ruling the entire Bhumandala, the other places are no rule required. Even when Arjuna went there, all other people said, "हमको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है कौन ruler है कौन ruler नहीं," because they are not least bothered about क्या कौन rule करते क्या rule करते कुछ पता नहीं. They are already in their elevated consciousness in that sense. Some of them are busy in enjoying, some of them are busy in bhakti. उसको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है कौन ruler है कौन ruler नहीं. But in Bharatavarsha it is required because it is a karma bhumi. Our karma should be according to Varnashrama. Varna system should be maintained properly. So sometimes the people from Karma Bhumi ruling over the entire Bhumandala, sometimes they are ruling locally only, according to the limitations of the time. So it is like that. So when in Kali Yuga, only the rulers are there only within the Bharata Varsha, only local rulers. One may ask, is somebody ruling the other places? Oh, the ruling is nahi, jarut nahi. Ruler hai, jarut nahi padta hai. If you know one story, even one Bhagavatam 4th canto also this is mentioned. Does the Brahmanas required the controllership of the Kshatriyas? This Prithu Maharaj talks about this in his instructions to citizens. Does Brahmana community required the judicially rule of Kshatriyas? Yes or no?
No, no.
At least according to Bhagavatam, according to Mahabharata, no. Because they are already in the spiritually elevated consciousness, they know what is what. Even if they make mistake, they themselves punish. They don't need to have a king who can punish them. They are self-conscious.
Yeah.
And don't see in the current context. We are discussing from the Bhagavatam, see from the cultural context.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm.
Thank you.
So the Brahmanical people does not need anyone to rule over them. They can manage themselves, practicing their spiritual activities. So उनको राजा है नहीं, कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. But people in Bharatavarsha needed ruler.
Okay.
So it's like that.
And Prabhuji, this Hanumanji, while going to Lanka, there was a discussion that who can jump 100 yojana and all. But there was this you described this pastime of Sugriv, who was telling them go to Mount Meru and then from there you jump to all north, east, west directions. So I felt like there is a contradiction. Is there like how they used to jump, or they have some other means?
No, एक ही महीने जैसे हनुमान जंप किया वैसे अदर मंकीज भी जंप किया.
But Prabhuji, I mean, sorry, because it was an exclamation for me, because other than Hanumanji, nobody else were able to jump 100 yojanas.
That is true.
Yeah. So now, while going, how they, crossed one ocean to another ocean, one island to another island, how they
Which the
crossed.
monkeys which went in the eastern direction?
East and west and
Okay.
north.
For that, Srila Madhvacharya says that in all those 7 dvipas, in between there are small islands and small mountains also there. And other than between Bharatavarsha and Lanka, there are no other place. The gap between 2 subsequent mountains is 100 yojanas. This is the longest distance in the entire universe. That's what Madhvacharya says.
Okay.
That's why the monkey, even the great personality like Jambavan also says, I can't. In the past, I could do 3 parikramas without touching the Bhumandala when Lord Vamana became Trivikrama. He did 3 parikramas around Lord Trivikrama. So now he is not able to jump 100 yojanas. It is like a tiny thing for Jambavan. He says, I can't because I become old. So this is the longest distance. That's why all the other monkeys, like even Angada says, may go that side, but difficult for me to come back. So it's like that.
Yeah, okay. Prabhuji, and also Jambudvip was completely ruled by the Kaurava kings during Dwapar Yuga. That time you mentioned this past time that Hanumanji tells Bhima not to go there, that side, because that is also a part of Bharatvarsha, but still he tells him like that. What is the reason, Prabhuji? Don't go that side, but because that is all their kingdom only.
No problem. Even though it is their kingdom also, see, it is not like today's thing. In today's thing, people keep visiting, keep finding out. Uttamai Raja matlab Raja bas. Oh, see, a monarch does not interfere day-to-day dealings. His Grace Govind Prabhu always says that even though Pandavas conquered so many kings, but they never changed the local culture. They told that, okay, ये धार्मिक राजा नहीं है, उनको हटाओ, दूसरा को राजा बनाओ लोकल एरिया का, आप धार्मिकता का पालन करो बस. As long as you are following Varnashram system, you are the king of this local territory. You just follow dharma, that's all. They are monarch. Monarch means, overall they are the ruler, but locally there are independent rulers. They'll be ruling and they'll be paying tax to the monarch, always.
Okay, bro. Got it. Thank you, bro.
So it is like that. Padho baba, thoda Mahabharat padho अच्छे से.
Prabhuji, like 4 castes are mentioned in our Bhumandala, all places. There are 4 castes. Heavenly planets also, I mean, they don't have 4 castes, Prabhuji, only because there are Brahmanas, I heard, and there are fighters also, because they fight with demons and all, heavenly. So there will be no Vaishyas and Sudras over there. Is it like that? Because specific qualities were mentioned like 4 castes.
If it is required, it will be there. See, why we need Vaishyas and Shudras? What is the purpose of Vaishyas and Shudras?
Yeah, business and workload, work and business.
Work distribution. वहाँ पे work ही नहीं तो उनका जरूरत क्या है?
Okay. Yeah.
यहाँ पे हम वर्क कर रहे हैं क्योंकि हमारा लाइवलीहुड के लिए. उधर लाइवलीहुड का जरूरत नहीं ना. Everything is naturally available. उनको वर्क करने की आवश्यकता नहीं, अपना अपना दुनिया में रहते हैं आप लोग सब लोग.
Okay, because it was mentioned specific qualities of Jambudvip is they have 4 castes. Therefore, I felt that on the top there were there should be no caste. Therefore, I asked. Okay, I got it. And
If it is required, it will be there. If it is not required, it will not be there. Even though there may be divisions, but they may not have so many duties according to their divisions.
Okay.
Since Bharata Varsha is Karma Bhumi, so there will be divisions.
Okay.
And they are given importance.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, these elephants which are standing on Lokalok mountains.
प्रभु जी वेट सी आपको ज्यादा प्रश्न है तो आप बाद में कॉल करो, हम दोनों बात करेंगे, थोड़ा सा बाकी वक्तों को पूछने दो.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हाँ यस प्रभु.
Prabhuji, you had shown that picture of Meru mantra, right? Or in Singari Mat, that Meru structure.
Yes. In the last class we discussed about it.
Yeah. So what do they explain? How do they explain that? What is this? Have you talked to them like what they give? And also there are some temples. Okay. And also some temples are there, na? Eastern Asia, like Cambodia, or some other temples are there, which in Eastern Asia also some temples are there, like Cambodia or some places where the structure of is. Can you talk about that also something? If
I don't know, Prabhu, I have not visited there. I have not also did any research upon that. But only just we happened to visit Sringeri Mat. I happened to saw that and I took the photos, and also they had a book. There is a description about this Mahameru Yantra. In that book, they say that this Mahameru Yantra is adapted from the description of the Bhumandala from our Vedic literatures. मैं किसी से बात नहीं किया because they all speak Tamil, Tamil, Kannada, whatever local language. So किसी से बात नहीं किया, किसी जानकारी भी प्राप्त नहीं किया. Just I saw one small book was there. So I just briefly read through it since it was in English.
okay, so they said it is from Bhumandala, like description it is there.
Yeah, it is adapted from the description of the Bhumandala.
Okay. And all these planets which are there, the Navagrahas, like so. So what the signs they show in that way, and the Earth they show. So how do we see that? Like they are also like that spherical, the grass.
See, unfortunately, I am not discussing much from science and analogy. So our understanding from scriptures is all the planets. Later on, we see about sun. It is actually basically a chariot. Vayu Purana also says that all the other planets are basically chariots, but they also either reflect or emit some light. As a result of that, we see them as a spherical object. That's what we are discussing just now. We are seeing sun every day, but we are not seeing sun actually. What we are seeing is only the sunlight that is coming out of the sun. Sun is actually a chariot, a big, huge aerial mansion, which is in the form of a chariot and traveling day in, day out, driven by 7 horses. So like that, all the Navagrahas are also different chariots. Some of them are driven by 8 horses, 10 horses, 12 horses, 2 horses. So, but for us, they all appear to be spherical objects as a result of their own light or the reflection of the light, etc. That's how they are made to be seen by us.
Okay, thank you, Push.
Even the stars that we see, it appears to be like a lamp, a burning lamp and all, but actually it is a aerial mansion, either chariot or the Vimana, like that of Kardam Muni, a space vehicle. But we see it as a spherical lighting object. So that is due to because it is a far distance, or it is due to the effect of the light, we see them as spherical object.
Oh,
so this is my understanding, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Just now, you said about like the stars, they are Vimanas or aerial mansions, and like just previously I asked this question. So if they're like, when we call them as Vimanas or aerial mansions, means they will have their own independent way of going, na? Not just a fixed path.
No.
Okay.
All these stars and planets have a fixed movement, daily making one round. Because these are all huge objects. As I mentioned, that half yojana to 100 yojanas. But whenever they want to go to some other place to travel, that time they have their own small chariots. In their small chariot, they will go. If they want to
Yes,
go
sir.
and to Amaravati to meet Indra for a Indra Sabha, they'll go in small chariots. That star will be traveling there only. Star kidhar
Yeah,
jayega nahi. The person will go to Sargaloka and meet Sargaloka means Amaravati and meet Indra and come back.
okay.
So it's like
Oh,
that.
yes, sir. Yes, yes. Thank you.
Hmm.
Haribol Prabhu, why these stars are traveling in their own orbit?
That is Bhagwan ka सृष्टि है वैसा. Everything is moving.
Okay.
Everything between below the pole star and above Bhumandala, they are all moving, making approximately one round in 24 hours.
Okay.
The other important reason is that because Lord Kshirodaksha Vishnu is situated in pole star, they are doing parikrama around him. Dakshinata parikramanti. This is what comes in the Bhagavatam. They are doing parikrama around Lord Kshirodaksha Vishnu, offering obeisances to him.
Prabhu, this Shirodaksha Vishnu is in Shir Sagar, so pole star is surrounded with Shir Sagar?
No. पोल स्टार के अंदर क्षीर सागर है, उसके अंदर श्वेतद्वीप है, उसके अंदर क्षीरोदक्ष विष्णु है.
Okay, okay. Another question. You said when Bhagirath Muni performed austerity in Greater Himalaya, before that Ganges was not there. So why Ganges was not there earlier?
गंगा का दूसरा नाम है रूपांतरेण वाति. Time to time, sometimes it will flow in a physically visible form, rupa. At other times, it becomes antarena, invisible form. Currently, Saraswati has become invisible to us. It's like that. Even we hear that Ganga will be there only for 10,000 years during the Kali Yuga. 5,000 years already over, 5 more thousand years it will be there. After that, Ganga will disappear. Currently, Yamuna is almost disappeared. So after that, again by the intervention of some great devotee, Ganga again will appear. Again in due course of it will disappear. Again by the intervention of another devotee, again will appear, again disappear. It is like a daily pastime. Time to time it will happen like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Bruce.
Prabhuji, this Chatur Yuga happens in this Bharat Varsha or only Bharat Khanda, Prabhu?
Bharata Varsha, Prabhuji, full Bharata Varsha.
Okay. And the second question, Prabhuji, could you please explain, you just explained this before, that Sugriva sent his soldiers 4 directions, from where to where? Could you please explain once again those part?
The eastern monkeys are said to travel to the 7 dvipas in the eastern direction.
Could you show us the picture?
So eastern monkeys are told to travel from here to they are in Bharatavarsha from here to all the way here. They were told to once again. They were told to go all the way here. 7th ocean cross karne ke baad they will come to a fiery land. Then they will come to Jatrupshila. When they go to the outer boundary, they will see Shesha holding the Bhumandala. Then come back. The monkeys which went in the north, they were told to go to the other side of the Jambudvipa, that is Uttarakuru Varsha. When they are about to end the Uttarakuru Varsha, in the saltwater ocean, they will see 3 townships made up of gold, silver, and brass or something like that, iron or something. And as soon as you see them, come back, he says. And even for the west also, as soon as they go to Ketumala Varsha, they get to see the ocean. Then he told, come back. For the monkeys which are going towards the south, so for them, he says that when you go to the far end of Bharata Varsha, there comes the ocean, saltwater ocean surrounding Jambudvipa. In that saltwater ocean, there are so many islands. One is Lanka. Lanka is the abode of Ravana. Go to Lanka. Mostly you will find Sita there. If you don't find Sita there in Lanka, go down below the Bhumandala. Go to Atala Loka, Vitala Loka, Sutala, Tatalatala, Mahatala, Patarasatala, Patala. You go further. After crossing Patala, you see Narakaloka. Then come back. Don't enter into Narakaloka. Don't search for Mother Sita in Narakaloka. Narakaloka is not meant for other living entities. That is only meant for the humans. That means you know that Ravana will not keep Sita in Lanka. Even Ravana himself does not go to Lanka. Sorry. Even Ravana does not keep Sita in Hell.
Narakaloka.
And he himself does not go to Narakaloka. So like that.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, we see that the monkeys could travel so far. And they were earthly monkeys, but then the Pandavas, it was difficult for them to go up. So how to understand this? Like
simple. These Vanaras are of Treta Yuga. Pandavas are of Dwapara Yuga, that too Dwapara Yuga end of Dwapara Yuga. Simple.
Yes.
Oh, do you have the picture of Shirodakshai, Vishnu and Shwetadip?
I don't have a picture, Proji.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry. We were supposed to have a break, but we did not have a break. Only we were going on. Should we have a small break now, or how it is? We'll continue.
5 minutes break, bro.
Huh?
5 minutes break.
Okay. Yeah. I think if devotees are done with your questions, so we'll have a 5 minutes break and then we'll continue with the third part of our presentation, wherein we will discuss from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter number 21 to 26, the description of the remaining 13 planetary systems. Okay, we'll meet in 5 minutes. Hare Krishna. Being and try to understand Bhumandala, because that is the important thing, that is where we are staying. And now let us come to the third part of our presentation, the description of the 14 planetary systems, the vertical structure of the universe. Here we will be seeing from the remaining chapters of the 5th canto. In the first 2 chapters, we will discuss about the sun, moon, stars, and other planets who are situated in Bhuvarloka and Swargaloka. And in chapter 23, there is a description of those things which are missed in the 22nd chapter, and also the upper planetary system. There is a brief introduction about them that is there in the 23rd chapter. 24th chapter, we'll see the description of the middle and lower planetary systems, Bhuvarloka and Bilaswarga. 25th chapter, we'll see the Lord Ananta, the holder of the entire Bhumandala. In 26th chapter, we'll see the hellish planetary systems, Narakaloka. So like that, in one sense, all the planetary systems are covered. Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, and upper 4 planetary systems, 4 plus 2, 6. And Bhumandala already 1 over 7. And the 7 lower planetary systems. Bilaswargas are basically 7 lower planetary systems. 7 plus 7, 14 ho gaya. Here are hellish planetary systems and Shesha. So everything in essence covered. So we started our discussion with this particular example or analogy, we can say. Our universe is like a lotus which is stemming from the water pond. So the water is compared to Garbhodaka ocean, the leaf is compared to Bhumandala, the stem and flower are compared to the remaining upper planetary systems. And that's what we till now we saw the Bhumandala, and now let us discuss the remaining things. Okay, now the upper planetary systems. Starting from Bhumandala, as you go upward, who is situated where and what are the facilities, things, qualities, characteristics, etc. A brief details about all these things are there. So here is our Garbhodakshai Vishnu, who is inside Garbhodaka ocean. From his navel coming the lotus, consisting of the leaf, stem, and flower. Brahma divide that lotus into 3 first, not happy, then into 14, and within each many subsections, subdivisions. So he became completely happy. Then he created a variety of living entities, and they are living at different places. And especially we saw in the Bhumandala, there are 2 categories of people are living. One category of people are in Bharatavarsha, the Karma Bhumi people. Other category people are the Bhauma Swarga people. Little elevated past people who are living all over the remaining part of the Bhumandala. They are all kind of heavenly kind of beings. So now let us see who are the other people who are living in the upper planetary systems and lower planetary systems, etc. The first thing that is described in the Bhagavatam as we go upward is sun. So sun details are mentioned in a couple of verses in the 3rd chapter itself, the 20th chapter itself, and then continue to describe in the 21st chapter also. The sun situated vertically in the middle of the universe. With respect to the horizontal structure of the universe, we saw the Bhumandala is there just above the water. In the Bhumandala, in the middle is Mount Meru. But vertically, when you see the height wise, so like this height wise, the sun's plane is located exactly in the middle of the Bhumandala. It's like that. So with respect to sun, there are 250 million yojanas on the upper side, 250 million yojanas on the bottom side to reach the shell of the universe. It is only up and down. Now, whatever we are going to discuss, everything is with respect to up and down. That does not mean that ek ke upar ek hai. It is basically one plane. Ek plane ke upar dusra plane. It's like that. So in that plane, that particular entity can be anywhere horizontally. But these heights which are mentioned in this section of Bhagavatam is only the planar height. As you go upward, at what height that particular planets or that particular locus plane is located. So in that plane, it could be expanded all over like Bhumandala, or it could be located one corner, but is there in that plane and revolving all around. So when it is revolving all around in that particular plane, that entire plane belongs to him only. So like that. Situated in the middle of the Bhuvarloka, which is in the middle of the earth and heaven. Of course, it is said that with respect to the universe, sun is located in the middle, exactly in the middle. Above sun, there are 250 million yojanas, and below sun, there are 250 million yojanas. But the sun is also located in the middle of the Bhuvarloka, who has a thickness or a width of 200,000 yojanas. The width of the Bhuvarloka is 2 lakh yojanas. And sun is located in the middle of the Bhuvarloka. That means with respect to sun, 1 lakh yojanas Bhuvarloka is above, 1 lakh yojanas Bhuvarloka is below. And below Bhuvarloka, after 1 lakh yojanas, there comes the Bhuloka, that is Bhumandala. That means with respect to Bhumandala, sun is located at of 1 lakh yojanas. So that is the understanding. The sun, who is the master of the heat, heats up and lights up the 3 lokas. Bhagavam tapatam pati, tapana atapena 3 lokim, pratapati avabhashyati atma bhasha. By his own self-luminance, he will give light and heat to the 3 planetary systems, Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swargaloka, because he is Bhagavan. The sun himself is the Bhagavam tapatam Bhagavan, a fiery Bhagavan. That's why we said the Surya Narayana is Shakti Avesh Avatar. And Tapanapati is the master of the heat. So it's like that. He has different names. He is called Martanda because he entered into the unconscious universe and brought it to conscious state. He entered into Mruta Anda and made it live. That's why he's called Martanda. He is also called Hiranyagarbha. He is the very existence of the universe, Hiranyanda. The entire universe is called Hiranyanda. All the living entities, you and me, all the way up to Brahma, all combined together. All Atmas combined together in the entire universe are called as Hiranyagarbha. And all Atmas are continue to exist, or they are maintained time and again only by the presence of sun. If sun is removed from the universe, all of us will die in no time. Because all of us are living, Hiranyagarbha is still living in the universe. So he is called Hiranyagarbha. That's why. Suryenihi vibhajayate dishakam diurmahi bida swarga apavarga naraka rasa auka amshi cha sarvasha. It is by the presence of the sun we call something is east, west, north, south, true north, true west, Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, Maharloka, Janloka, Tapaloka, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahadala, Patal. All day, night, all these divisions are designated only because of sun. I mean, one sense because of the movement of the sun, because of the position of the sun, all these things, divisions are there. That is one thing. Second thing is then sun nahi rahega to sab andhera mein rahega. अंधेरे में कुछ है कुछ नहीं, कुछ फायदा ही नहीं. अंधेरे के अंदर कुछ रहने से कुछ फायदा है ही नहीं. लाइट का बिना there is no use of having something. So sun के बिना having all these 14 planetary systems have no use. So something like that. देवतिर्यन मनुष्याणां सरिसृपा सविरूढाणां सर्वजीव निकायानां सूर्य आत्म दृगु ईश्वरा. The sun is the eye and life of all living entities, of all the devatas, of all animals, of all humans, reptiles, and plants. Sun is giving 2 things. He is giving us the eyes, he is also giving us the life. If sun is not there, sunlight is not there, any form of light is not there, we can't do any activities, we can't live also. So like that. Sunlight in any form, if it is not there, we can't do any activities, we can't live, we cannot continue to exist, and our life only will not be there. So he is the life of all the living entities. That's why he's called Atma, Atma of the entire universe. So these are the few details from 20th chapter, some of the attributes of the sun. Now in the 21st chapter, the sun's chariot is being described. The sun's chariot has only one wheel. Normally what we see, either bullock cart or odd-driven cart, we have two wheels. But sun's chariot has only one wheel. Yasya ekam chakram. It is connected to an axle whose length is equal to the radius of Manasottara mountain, 15.75 million yojanas. So one side of the axle is fixed to the lower portion of Meru. On one side, this axle is connected to the lower part of the Meru, where Meru is joining the Jambudipa. There it is fixed. Other side of the axle is connected to the wheel. And that wheel is continuously rotating in the clockwise direction, located just above Manasottara mountain. Tatyaksho meror murdini kruto Manasottere kritanta bhago yatra protam ravirata chakram. So like that. One side connected to fixed to lower portion of Mount Meru, other side connected to the chariot wheel. The sun's chariot continuously revolves day in day out, located above Manasottara mountain. The chariot wheel continuously rotates on Manasottara like the wheel of an oil pressing machine. Taila yantravat. Ravirata chakram taila yantra chakravat. It moves on. So here we see, this is the Bhumandala. Here we have Mount Meru, Bharatkhanda, and Manasottara mountain is here. Here the pole star Dhruvaloka. The chariot wheel is located just above Manasottara mountain at a height of 1 lakh yojanas. Here chariot body is there. Here is the axle. And one side is connected to the base of the Mount Meru, other side is connected to the wheel, and this wheel continuously revolves around. So there is no need of the second wheel. Ek wheel se kaam ho raha hai to dusra wheel rakhne ka kyun avashyakta hai? So it is like that. Sun Suryanarayana situation is chariot, which is inside the wheel. And here are the 7 horses which are driving the entire chariot. And the length of this axle from here center of Mount Meru to the chariot wheel, it is 15.75 million yojanas. And the movement of this chariot is controlled by Dhruva with the help of a second axle, also 2 ropes that is mentioned. As in oil pressing machine, the first axle is attached to a second axle, which is 1/4 long, which is connected just opposite to the saltwater ocean. There is second axle, it like one side connected to Dhruva, second side connected to the first axle, just above saltwater ocean. Here Jambudipa is there, and surrounding Jambudipa we have saltwater ocean. There, the first axle is connected to the second axle. With the help of this, Dhruva Maharaj will control the speed of the sun chariot. So it's like that. In addition to that, from Dhruva there also comes 2 ropes to the horses. Here Aruna is controlling the horses, as well Dhruva also controls from here the movement of the horses. So like that it is said. So this is 15.75, this is 1/4, 3.9375 like that. 1/4 of the first axle. This is the traditional oil pressing machine. See this? This exactly looks like Mount Meru. This is where this axle is connected here, and it goes here. Here the bulls are connected. So it goes around, the oil comes out. And here is the location of the Meru. This is Meru. This is second axle, this is first axle. They are joined here. And here the groundnuts are pressed and the oil will come out of this here from this point. So because the sun's chariot देख के ये बनाया और ये देख के वो बनाया पता नहीं, but कुछ तो है. System is there from the time immemorial. Even we have the motorized oil pressing machine also somewhat similar only. So it's like that. So this is about the sun's chariot, different things that are there in the chariot of the sun. Further more details, let us get into. So of the 1 lakh yojanas, their divisions. According to Sri Swami, The sun chariot wheel rotates at a height of 50,000 yojanas on a surface made flat by the wind. So Manasutara mountain itself is 10,000 yojanas height. From the peak of the mountain, the chariot wheel rotates at a height of 50,000 yojanas. So दोनों को बीच में gap है 50,000 yojanas, and it is traveling on a flat surface. The wheel to the seat where sun god is seated. This height is 40,000 yojanas. So 40,000 plus 50,000 plus 10,000, total 1 lakh yojanas. And sun god is seated in his chariot body. And this chariot body and sun god himself appears to be moving inside and outside, up and down, आगे पीछे इधर उधर घूमते रहते हैं. So in a year, he appears to be moving here and there in an enclosure known as Ratha Nida, whose dimensions are 3.6 by 0.9 million yojanas. It's a box kind of thing. The length, height, width. So from here to here, the length is 3.6 million yojanas. From here to here, the height also 3.6 million yojanas. Aage piche. The width is about 0.9 million yojanas. This is the box area. In this box, the sun seems to be moving, sometimes coming in, sometimes going out, sometimes going up, coming in, and sometimes going front, going piche. ये सब करते रहते हैं. So it is called as Ratha Nida, a 3D box. That's why we see sun sometimes coming close and sometimes far, more heat, more temperature, less heat, less temperature, all these things happen. So then, the sun chariot is driven by 7 horses. They are named after the names of 7 Vedic meters: Gayatri, Bruhati, Vushnik, Jagati, Trishtup, Anushtup, and Pankti. And they are harnessed to a yoke. Yoke means that wooden pole which is kept on the neck of the bulls or horses. That is a width of 0.9 million yojanas. Aruna, the elder brother of Garuda, is the driver of the chariot of sun god. Though he is supposed to drive the chariot in the front, but he constantly wants to have the darshan of sun god. So he always looks behind to look for the sun. So, and standing in front of sun's chariot, standing opposite and moving backward, 60,000 sages, Valakilyas, continuously offer eloquent prayers for the pleasure of Surya Narayana, so that he can continue to do his service. That was the whole thing. And in addition to them, there are different variety of people in groups. Gandharvas, Apsaras, Nagas, Yakshas, Rakshasas, sages, and Devatas continuously assist and worship the Surya Narayana so that he will do his seva properly. What they do? Gandharvas sing, Apsaras dance, Nagas, they bind the chariot together, Yakshas, they harness the horses, Rakshasas, they push from behind, sages sing Vedic hymns, and Devatas manage all the other activity that are supposed to happen in the Surya Loka, Surya Mandal. So all these people in cooperation, helping Surya to do his service. It's like that. So now, little modern day information. Hanuman Chalisa. Tulsidas. Sri Tulsidas, who composed Hanuman Chalisa, in which he says that the distance between our earth to the sun, he gives an approximate number. In his Hanuman Chalisa, there is one dohe which says, Tumharo mantra vibhishana mana lankeshwara bhaya sabajag jana juga sasra yojana parabanu lilyotai madura falajanu. So in which seems that Hanumanji himself is saying that so just as I jumped to Lanka, I had jumped to sun in my childhood. So Hanumanji jumped from Gandhamadana mountains to Lanka about 100 yojanas distance. At some other time in his childhood, he jumped all the way up to sun god, sun's planet, looking at sun to be, thinking to be a fruit, with the intention to eat that fruit. He jumped across. How much distance he jumped? Juga Sasra Yojana. The sun who is located at a distance of Juga Sahasra Yojana. What is the meaning of Juga Sahasra Yojana? In Sanskrit, Yuga means one Chatur Yuga or one Divya Yuga, consisting of Satya, Treta, Dwapara and Kali. In Devata years, one Chatur Yuga lasts for 12,000 Devata years. Multiplying this with 360, we will get 4.32 million solar years. But in terms of Devata years, it is about 12,000 Devata years. That it is the duration of one Chatur Yuga or one Divya Yuga, consisting of 4 yugas. Sahasra means 1,000 only. Multiplying these two, we get 12,000 into 1,000, 12 million. So this is the approximate distance that Hanumanji jumped towards sun in order to catch sun. That is the understanding. So what do you mean by 12 million yojanas? One yojana is 8 miles. That is 96 million miles. 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers. That is 153.6 million kilometers. According to modern science, the distance between sun and earth is 1 astronomical unit, which is 150 million kilometers. So here our Sri Tulasidas is saying that approximate distance between earth and sun is 153 million kilometers. Okay, chalega thoda idhar udhar. Because in Sanskrit, they don't tell many times exact number. They kind of round off. They come to the nearby closest round figure. So he has mentioned Juga Sahasra Yojana. It fits in one line clearly. If you have to convert 150 million kilometers into yojanas, it would become 11.6789 10 like 6 7 8 9 1 2 3 like that. So usko number, if you want to write that number in Sanskrit, it may take more lines. It would be very difficult to follow the grammar also, to write in the poetry. You have to mention the prose. So they take nearby round figures. So without much difficulty. So it is like that. See, it is 12 million yojanas, which is 153 million kilometers. Modern science says 150 million kilometers. This is also average distance. It goes far and near also. So that is all about the sun god's chariot, in which sun travels in a wonderful manner, whose travel we glorify in Brahma Samhita prayers. Etchakshuresha Savita Sakla Grahanam Raja Samasasuramurti Rajesh Teja. Yes, Yagnya Brahmati Sambhuta Kala Chakro Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So, Yasya Agnya, by the order of Govinda, Brahmati Sambhuta Kala Chakro, sun continuously travels on the Kala Chakra. This is how he travels. Here the Surya Narayana, Aruna, the 7 horses, and majestically is traveling day and day out, giving us the light and heat. So even the same place, what was that place? Next to Mysore, Sringeri Mutt. They also have sun's chariot. Just like they had the Mahameru Yantra, they also had sun chariot. Here is Surya Narayana, here is Aruna, here are the 7 horses. We have taken photo. Here is the one chariot wheel. Here you see this is the chariot wheel. Here one chariot wheel is here. Here is Surya Narayana, here is Aruna, and there is another picture. Here are the 7 horses. Here is Aruna, the driver. This is Aruna and Surya Narayana. So once in a year during Brahmostra festival, they take out the chariot, decorate it nicely, and they worship, because they worship the 5 deities, Panchopasana. In that, Surya is also there. They worship Surya also during the Brahmostra festival. So this is how, these are some of the photos which were available in the Google about their worship. But these, with the previous pictures which we captured, because they told that no cameras are allowed inside, no mobile is also inside. Secretly we took the pictures, so they are not so clear. So it is like that. So this was all about sun. So before beginning the moon, if there are some questions about sun, so please don't ask so many questions, because we will try to discuss the moon today completely. And at the end of that, both sun and moon together, will take some more questions also. Quickly, if somebody has some questions, some clarifications, something is not clear.
Prabhu, is Lakshmi with Garbhodaksha Vishnu?
Sorry?
Is Lakshmi sitting there with Garbhodaksha Vishnu?
Yes. Wherever Vishnu is there, Lakshmi also will be there. Karnadaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Kshirodaksha Vishnu, everywhere she will be there. Even in the Antaryami also she must be there.
Because in Karunadaksha Vishnu's picture, in Prabhupada's books, Lakshmi is not mentioned there.
Ah, yes, not mentioned, but generally Lord Vishnu does not stay alone. He always stays along with his internal potency. Maybe in a visible form or in an invisible form.
Are there any features by which we can distinguish that this is Garbhodaksha, this is Karnodaksha, this is Kshirodaksha Vishnu?
I don't know, Proji. Garbhodaksha Vishnu का deity का ये तो ये रहता है नाभि नालम, lotus flower. Ananta Padmanam is a Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So it's like that.
Thank you.
Ranganath Swami is Karnadaksha Vishnu, I suppose. Varadaraj is Kshirodaksha Vishnu or Karnadaksha Vishnu in Kanchipuram.
Okay, thank you.
And in Tirumala, Lord Srinivasa, he is actually the Manvantara Avatara, Lord Ajita. Or he can be Lord Vamana also. He is basically the Manvantara Avatara.
Tirupati Balaji.
Ah, yes, he is the Manvantara Avatara. He could be either the 6th Manvantara Avatara Lord Ajita or he could be the 7th Manvantara Avatara Lord Vamana. It depends on when the pastime took place based on that. In this Manvantara only or previous Manvantara. So, but anyway, forget that. Any question in relation to sun?
Prabhuji, what is difference with Surya Nara and Vivaswan? That
No, Eki, Prabhuji. It is Vivaswan, but he is the Chakshi Avatar of the Supreme Lord. Since he is Shakti Avatar, we call him as Surya Narayan. That's all. It's the same person only. Eki person. Dono alag nahi. He is the Surya Narayan.
Prabhuji,
One of the 12 sons of Aditi.
Sorry for interrupting, Prabhuji. Wanted to confirm that only this sun planet means only this chariot is moving around. That's all.
Chariot only.
No other residents of sun planet. No other this.
No. पूरा रहेगा, पूरा family रहेगा बाबा. अभी राजा रहेगा तो राजा के साथ पूरा family रहेगा ना.
सर chariot पे मतलब.
Chariot मतलब see, that is the problem. Our understanding of chariot is a small chariot जिसके अंदर दो लोग पीछे एक आदमी आगे बैठ सकते हैं, ऐसा नहीं. This chariot is like a huge chariot. It is a huge chariot. Anyone and everyone can see. It is like you imagine how it was. Kardamuni का aerial mansion कैसे था?
Yes, Prabhuji, like that.
Huge. So body will be like huge. उसका सामने horses है. The 7 horses are connected to a yoke whose width is about 0.9 million yojanas. Chariot width will be that much you can think of.
Correct. Yes, Prabhuji, now I understand.
They are huge horses.
Prabhuji, in that Brahma Samhita sloka, it is mentioned that he is the eye of the Lord. It is not mentioned like he's the Shaktavesh Avatara like that, or. And
He is eye because he is the present deity of the eye, na? In the universal form, he is the present deity of the eye.
Yeah.
So he is the eye of the universal form. It is there like that.
Okay, so Surya Dev is Shaktavesh Avatar when we said that he is a Jiva Tattva.
He is a Jiva Tattva. He is one of the Devatas only. He keeps changing after every Manvantara. But he is specially empowered by the Supreme Lord. Among all the Devatas, he is.
Prabhuji, you mentioned Lakshmi.
That's what Madhvacharya says. I come across this Madhvacharya only.
Okay. And it is also said in this Brahma Samhita sloka that he is the king of all the planetary systems. But we hear Indra is considered to the king.
Yes. There are two aspects in the sense. One is from the point of view of management. Indra is the king. But Indra is actually sitting on the high throne and giving orders and looking after the governance. But from the point of view of Seva, the Seva of Sun God, we say, na, Kshirodaksha Vishnu is the maintainer of the entire universe. In one sense, he is not doing anything himself. He is in Yoga Nidra. He has given the responsibility of the maintaining the entire universe to two people. One is to Dhruva Maharaj, other one is to Surya Dev. On behalf of Kshirodaksha Vishnu, these two people are actually maintaining the entire universe. From the Seva point of view, he is the king. Even though 6 महीना बारिश नहीं आएगा तो भी चलेगा, 6 महीना तक सूर्यदेव नहीं आएगा तो चलता है क्या प्रभु जी? The Seva point of view, the sun Seva is much more than Indra Seva. So it is like that.
Yeah.
From Seva's point of view, Brahma Seva is superior than Shiva Seva. But from personality point of view, Lord Shiva is the superior devotee than Lord Brahma.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
Brahma had greater responsibilities than Lord Shiva in the universe's management point of view. But from the devotional perspective, Vaishnavana Meta Shambhu. So it's like that.
He's emitting so much fire, like Agni Dev, Surya.
Yes, he is giving us light and heat both continuously.
Prabhuji, you mentioned that Mother Lakshmi also is there with us, Surya Narayan.
No, Prabhuji, abhi ये शक्ति आवश्यकता मतलब जीवतत्व only, but special empowerment. He is not Vishnu. Don't make him Vishnu.
Representing.
Not representing, he is specially empowered. What we call generally Prabhupada is Visena. He is also Shakti Avashavatar. He is specially empowered by the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. He is specially sent by Sri Krishna. So what do you mean by Shakti Avashavatar? He is Jiva Tattva only, but he has that special mercy of the Supreme Lord. That Krishna Krupa is manifesting through Acharya. That makes him special.
So is his body made up of fire element, Surya Dev?
अभी वो details मुझे पता नहीं प्रभु. Obviously, since he is living in a fiery planet, so their bodies will be made up of fire element only, prominently. Okay. Any other questions from any other devotees? Okay, chat box me looks like somebody wrote something. In South India, they celebrate festival connected to sun god called Ratha Saptami. What is it about? Ratha Saptami is about the change of the course of sun god. There are two festivals in South India. One is Makar Sankranti, one is Ratha Saptami. So these two are celebrated in relation to the change of the course of sun god. One is literal change of sun course. Other one is geographical change of the sun course. So both are celebrated. Ratha Saptami is also celebrated as well as Makar Sankranti also celebrated in that. So it's like that. Matlab Uttarayana beginning that time. So though Uttarayana began on Makar Sankranti from the geographical point of view, but Bhishma Dev waited till Ratha Saptami, which actually talks about the literal change of the sun's course. So Bhishma Dev left his body on the Ashtami, or day after Ratha Saptami. So it is like that.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. We were describing about this yokes which are connected to Jambudvip and one other one connected to Dhruva Loka. So these are the kind of gravitational forces, just like we have on the earth objects experience. So that yokes which are connecting the chariot to the Jambudvip and another one for Dhruva Loka. So they are
yes, Praju, we can take them like that. Since they are all subtle connections, so we can take them as gravitational pull or whatever control or attraction between those two. Like that, we may say like that because we can't see them. The ropes are there, the axles are there, everything is there, but we can't see them because they are all subtle in nature. So we can, okay, no problem. We can take them as gravitational. That's why they are connected and they are revolving around. Because of that, we can say like that. Yes.
And then Manasottara mountain, it's on the Manasottara mountain. So the height, because of the height, it goes up, and then it is part of the Bhuvar Loka. It's something like that. It's, the sun is situated in Bhuvar Loka, in middle of the
Sun is
Bhuvar Loka.
situated in the middle of the Bhuvar Loka. That we will discuss in the tomorrow's class when we come to 24th chapter. I'll show where what is the total amount of the Bhuvar Loka. Basically that time. Basically, from the surface of the Bhumandala to the till this point, the upper part of the Mount Meru Dharna, till this point is all Bhuvar Loka. See, from the base of the Pushkar Deepa to the axle, this is 1 lakh yojanas. From here to the top of Mount Meru is also 1 lakh yojanas. So this year to year is all Bhuvar Loka. Sun is exactly in the middle of the Bhuvar Loka in that sense. And from this all the way up to pole star, this is all Swarga Loka. This area, all this. This is Swarga Loka, and this one is Bhuvar Loka, and this is Bhuloka.
So, Prabhuji, this day and night happens because of the sun moving around, and then it blocks the light of the sun when it goes to other side of the Bhumandala. Then it blocks the side of the for us. When it is the opposite side, when on the other side of the Meru mountain.
Okay, when sun is in the back side of Mount Meru, it will block sunlight coming to Bharatakanda. That's what you are saying.
That's what we saw yesterday, I think so. Based upon whatever I understood that time. It's like that only, na Prabhuji?
See, here two things. This question devotees might have. We have one thing is called Karma Bhumi, other thing is called Bhaumasvarga. Yes? The Bhumandala has been divided into two parts. One is Karma Bhumi, other part is Bhaumasvarga.
Yes.
Since Bhaumasvarga is kind of heavenly in nature, it will act as a transparent via medium. It will never cast shadow with respect to the residents of Bharatavarsha or Bharatakanda. So for Bharatakanda, if you want to talk about Bharatakanda, for Bharatakanda, the rest of the Bhumandala becomes like a mirror. A transparent mirror. So none of the areas will block sunlight which is coming to Bharatakanda. The Bharatakanda becomes an isolated entity in the ether. That's why the modern science says that sun is hanging in the ether and is revolving around itself and not sun. Yeah, the earth globe is hanging in the ether and revolving around and moving around sun. Like that they say. The reason we can't see all other things. But so then for other than Bharatakanda, the rest of the Bhumandala is all Bhaumasvarga, and that itself has a similar nature everywhere. And for them, the Bhumandala itself blocks the sunlight. When sun is here, this Bhumandala itself blocks the sunlight which is going to this part of the Bhumandala. So this part they will be having darkness, night time. When this part they will be having brightness, they will have darkness here. When the same sun goes this side, they will have brightness, and these people will have darkness. The same sun, he will give a kind of grass sunlights to the Bharatakanda residents, and he will give a kind of subtle sunlight to the Bhumandala. So we experience differently and they experience differently. So it is like that. Independent of us, the entire Bhumandala will have day and nights. Independent of the Bhumandala, the Bharatakanda will have its own day and nights.
Guruji, I did not understand this just now what you explained. Now, how it is happening? Can you please explain once more?
Simple, Prabhuji, because they are all subtle, we are all grass. See, अभी देखो हमारा घर के चारों तरफ मिरर रखेगा तो does the mirror block sunlight?
No, it will not block.
Sunlight comes inside only. Like that, this Mount Meru and all the other mountain, the Bhumandala does not block sun rays which are coming to Bharatakanda.
Correct.
But with respect to the residents who are living on the Bhumandala, excluding Bharatakanda, the entire Bhumandala is of same nature.
Yes, Roji.
So they will have day and night with the different kind of sunrays which are coming to them. It's like that.
Okay. And then why do we experience day and night, Roji?
Prabhuji, because Earth is globe, we experience day and night. A globe को इस तरफ रहेगा तो उस तरफ dark रहेगा, उस तरफ रहेगा तो उस तरफ dark रहेगा. Simple.
Yes, yes. For us, it's gross. For them, it is subtle.
That's all. उतना ही difference है. Because Bhumandala is this like trapezoidal structure, this one inverted cone, they will have day and night.
Correct.
But with different kind of sunlight, sun rays.
Yes, Prabhuji, clear.
In South India, okay, same. We वापस क्यों दिखा रहे थे? Okay, fine. So we'll go ahead. We'll just discuss about the moon before concluding for today. The description of the moon. How does it look like? Is it a satellite or star? Is it an abandoned planet? As we generally hear from media and all. So some kind of understanding. Let us try to have about moon today. So we have discussed about sun, and from sun, as we go upward, the plane where moon is situated is at a height of 1 lakh yojanas with respect to the sun rays that are coming to Bhartakanda. Evam Chandrama Arka Gabastibya Uparistal Laksha Yojanatva Upalabhyamano. The moon is situated 1 lakh yojanas, 1 lakh yojanas above the rays of the sun that are coming to us, Bhartakanda. See, the moon is here, but not exactly above sun. In this purport to this verse, in that purport, Srila Prabhupada actually keeps the moon here just above the sun and says that if somebody wants to go to the moon, they have to travel from earth to sun horizontally about 12 million yojanas, then travel 1 million yojana, 1 lakh yojana above. So that's how they say. Just 1 second, Prabhuji, I just take this class, this call. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji,
Previously, the बहुत थक गया 5 मिनट की उठो ऐसे लेक्चर चालू
Okay. See, it is like that. Srila Prabhupada says in that purport like that, but in reality, the moon is situated close to earth only, above the rays of the sun at a height of 1 lakh yojanas. That is being indicated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam does not talk about the literal location of the planets. It talks about the plane in which the planets are situated. The gap between two subsequent planes is mentioned in terms of 1 lakh yojanas, 2 lakh yojanas as you go upward. So that is the understanding. Anyway, we see. We'll give so many other details. Finally, you will understand about it. So we see some references about the moon. Yadaditya tejo jagat bhashe teklam echendam sechagno tattejo viddhimavakam. The light that is coming from the sun, moon, and fire, which illuminate the entire universe, is all my vibhuti. Gama vishabhutani daryami hamojesa pushnami chaushadi sarve soma bhutva rasatmaka. Entering the earth by my own Shakti and being situated there, I maintain the moving and non-moving entities who are living on the surface of the Bhumandala. Earth means the Bhumandala. Gam stands for Bhumandala. Becoming the sweet juiced moon, Prasatmaka Soma, I cause plants such as rice to increase and grow. Pushnami Aushadi. Aushadi refers to all the vegetation, all the vegetable plants. They are all nourishing and grown up because of the presence of the moon. So this is how the Supreme Lord expanding himself as sun, moon, and fire and earth is taking care of us, because he is the responsible person to maintain all of us. So now we have discussed about the Bhumandala in the past, consisting of Bhartakanda also in between, in the middle of that. And we have also discussed about the sun, Currently, we are discussing about the moon. So then we also discussed about the distance between the Earth and Sun from Ramcharitmanas or Hanuman Chalisa from Sri Tulsidas, Yuga Sahasra Yojana. And we'll also take some reference from Rigveda. It said that this is from a paper I have taken. I was searching for a shloka from Rigveda. I could not find the shloka, Sanskrit shloka. So, but the understanding is this. So, the diameter of the sun disk, the disk that we see every day, morning and evening, daytime we may not be able to see, but day, morning and evening we can see, is the actual diameter is 108 times to the diameter of the earth. The earth diameter is 1000 yojanas that we have already seen in the previous sessions. The sun's diameter is 108,000 yojanas. And the distance, actual distance between the sun and earth is 108 times to the diameter of the sun. So 108 into 108,000. It becomes 11.664 million yojanas. And our Tulsidas, he told it is about 12 million yojanas. That was the closest round figure. This is the actual number. When you convert this into miles and also eventually into kilometers, you exactly get 150 million kilometers. So this is the accuracy to which even our scriptures can give. If required, they will give. If not required, they will tell approximate round figures only. So it is like that. And as you see sun disk in the morning and in the evening, the red and orange color sun, and draw a line from the upper surface of the sun to the middle of our eye, draw a line from the bottom surface of the sun to the middle of our eye, and measure the angle between those two. That will be 1 by 108 radians. That is 0.5305 degrees. Because we should know the formula. Arc length L is equal to the angle in radians into the radius. Radius is nothing but the distance between sun and earth. The arc length is nothing but the sun's diameter. So sun's diameter divided by radius is nothing but 1 by 108, because the radius is 108 times to the diameter of the sun. So in that way, 1 by 108 radians, multiply it with 180 by pi, you will get 0.53 degrees. Same way for moon. The moon diameter, the moon disk diameter is 108 by 400 times the diameter of the earth. 1000 into 108 by 400. It is almost 1 by 4. So little more than 250. That is 270. The diameter of the sun is 270. The diameter of sun is 108,000 yojanas. This is 270 yojanas. The distance between the moon and earth is 108 times the diameter of the moon. 270 into 108. 29,160 yojanas. His diameter is 108,000 yojanas. From here to here is 11.66 million yojanas. His diameter is 270. His distance is 29,000 yojanas. The moon is close to Bhartakanda only. It is not far. So like that. And the moon disk, whom we see fully on the moon, on the full moon day, it also makes a angle of 108, 1 by 108 radians. It is again 0.5305 degrees. These are some of the calculations. When we compare the same thing with modern findings, the modern science says that the earth diameter is 12,756, the sun's diameter is this one. When you calculate the ratio, this one to this one, the closest round figure is 109 times. This is the distance between the sun and earth. The ratio between this and this is, the closest round figure is 108. And sun disk angle varies from 0.52 to 0.54. The mean value is 0.53, matching. The moon's diameter is 3,476. The ratio between this and this is 109 by 400. Here we have used 100 by 400. The distance between the moon and earth is 384,400 kilometers. The ratio between this and this is comes, the closest round figure is 110. चलेगा थोड़ा सा इधर उधर आगे पीछे हो जाएगा. And the disk angle varies from 0.49 to 0.55. And the mean value could be, we may take 0.52, but we have said 0.53. So it's okay, thoda aage piche. So it's like that. This is one comparison, one understanding from Rigveda. So now, if you see here, the diameter of the moon, not diameter, the radius of the moon's orbit is 29,160 yojanas only. The radius of the sun's orbit is 11.66 million yojanas. Fine. Till now, we were thinking that the sun is traveling around Mount Meru, etc. But Sri Vaishnava Acharya says that both sun and moon are not traveling around Meru. They are actually traveling around the line connecting pole star and Bharatakanda, the north pole of the Bharatakanda. So this is a line which is connecting the pole star. This is the pole star. This is Bharatakanda here. This is Mount Meru. This is entire Jambudvipa. And here the north pole. The line connecting this is acting at the center for the orbit of the sun as well as the moon. Here you see sun's orbit in the month of June or July during Karka Sankranti. This is the sun's orbit during Makar Sankranti in the month of January. Here the sun's orbit during April or Mesha Sankranti or during October Tula Sankranti. In January, sun's orbit is here, is gradually going upward to April here, then again to July here. From July gradually coming down to October here and to again January here. Is gradually going up and down. This orbital path is perpendicular to the line connecting pole star and center of the Bharatakanda. Similarly, if the moon is supposed to travel around Mount Meru, the moon's radius is only about 30,000 yojanas, which is like 29,160. I took it as 30,000 yojanas, closest round figure, easy to track. So 30,000 matlab from the center of Meru to the outer edge of Jambudvipa is 50,000 yojanas. So 30,000 means somewhere here only. The moon will be traveling here. Then this part of the earth globe, the Americans only would be able to see the moon. The Indians should not see. But we also see. The reason is the moon's orbit is around Bharatakanda only. So that everyone on the earth globe is able to see the moon. So the earth globe is the center of the moon's orbit as well as sun's orbit, as well as the other planets' orbit also. Because they are all making this particular line joining the pole star as well as Bharatakanda at the center of their orbits, not the Meru exactly. This is one thing we get it from Sri Tiruvenkata Ramanuja Jiyar's drawing of the universe. So it is like that. So here is the sun. Sun is here. The same thing you see here. This is the 30. If it is 30,000 yojanas, it would be traveling around Meru like this only. But here to here is 50,000 yojanas. Bharatakanda is here. Then the orbit of the moon should be like this, since it is only 30,000 yojanas. This is the actual orbit of the moon around Bharatakanda. So it is like that. And then we'll get into the moon planet. What is moon? Who are living in the moon? We'll take questions after some time, Prabhuji. Let us discuss about the moon completely, then we'll take questions. If we start questions, the whole time will go in that only. We'll complete the moon. With its waxing and waning phases, the moon creates, during its waxing phase, the moon creates day for the Devatas, night for the Pitrus, which is suitable for the worship of the Devatas. Shukla Paksha is good for performing those samskaras or ceremonies in which Devata worship is there. And then, during its waning phase, during the Krishna Paksha, it creates day for the Pitrus, night for the Devatas, which is suitable for the worship of the Pitrus. That's why, in a year, one Krishna Paksha which comes in the month of Bhadrapada is specially dedicated for the worship of the Pitrus. That is called as Pitru Paksha. So it is like that. So this verse gives the indication that the moon is creating day for the Devatas during Shukla Paksha and the night for the Devatas during Krishna Paksha, and day for the Pitrus during Krishna Paksha and night for the Pitrus during Shukla Paksha. So what do you mean? Devatas Pitrus kya chal rahe hain? The understanding is the moon, who is traveling around Earth in his own orbit, whose radius is about 30,000 yojanas, has been divided into two parts. These are the two parts of the moon. One is in orange color, other one is in the violet color. One is inside, one is inside the dotted line, one is outside the dotted line. The inside portion is resided by the Devatas, outside portion is resided by the Pitrus. When the moon is situated between the earth and sun, that is called Amavasya. This is called new moon day. When the moon is situated on the other side of the earth, away from sun, that is called full moon day. That is Paurnami. So from Amavasya to Paurnami is called Shukla Paksha, during which this part of the moon is bright. And from Paurnami to Amavasya it is called Krishna Paksha, during which this part of the moon is bright. And accordingly, the Devata, the portion of the moon which is resided by devatas is becoming daytime or nighttime will change accordingly. Basically, the word devatas is being used. That means a category of devatas are residing in this part of the moon, and the pitrus are a category of the pitrus are residing in this part of the moon. Generally, whenever we hear in the scriptures that pitruloka, that is actually referring to this part of the moon, which is inhabited by the pitru devatas. This is from the top. This is the North Pole when you see here. This is from the front view. In the front side, when you see, this is how the moon orbits, and devatas and pitrus are located here. So basically, the moon planet has been divided into two parts. One half, the outer half is decided by pitru devatas. The lower half is decided by one category of devatas. Their names are sadhyas. There are a category of devatas who are known as sadhyas. They are living in the inner part of the moon. So now, what the moon is made up of? What is the constitution of the moon? Vayu Purana says that the sun is made up of condensed fire element. The sun planet is made up of condensed fire element. That's why the sun is emitting fire. Especially now we are going to get experience. Here we are still having winter only in Mandi, but you might be having already a kind of summer in Bombay, Pune, etc. Because sun is fiery, we get fiery experience during April, May, June. And similarly, the earth is made up of condensed earth element. Though a lot of water is there on the surface, but earth by nature it is condensed earth element. The earth element is brought together and kept as one single object entity. So just like sun is a condensed fire element, earth is made up of condensed earth element. Similarly, the moon is made up of condensed water element. Constitutionally, the moon is a icy graha, icy planet. It is a circular ice ball moon. This is explained in the Vayu Purana. Vayu Purana gives this understanding about what sun is, what moon is, what earth is. Little bit details about the moon. So this is from 20th chapter. We have already seen this one. This prayer offered by Salmanid Dvipa residents. May the moon, the king of all the citizens and all of us who divide the food for the pitrus and the devatas according to the waning and waxing phases by his rays, be favorable to us. It is the moon who is providing food for the pitru devatas, sadhyas and all other devatas. May he also take care of us. It's like that. So devatas here are sadhyas, a lesser category of devatas. The pitrus are those who drink the vapor of the food. Ushma bhagahi pitara. Pitrus eat the steam. Ushmapa. This is from Taittiriya Brahmana Yajurveda 1.3.10.6. This particular phrase comes in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Virat Rupa is explained there. Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan Sri Krishna Thakur talks about the Pitrus. Pitrus are known, those who are known as Ushma bhagahi pitara. The understanding is, when the sun evaporates water from different water bodies on the earth, first that water goes to, the evaporated water goes to moon. The moon does manthan and he extracts the essence of the evaporated water. That essence is somarasa. When we churn yogurt, we get butter. When the moon churns the evaporated water, he will get somarasa. And the remaining water will come down and form clouds. And eventually those clouds will rain during the season. So that somarasa is collected by the moon every day. So starting from Pratipad, the day after Amavasya, the amount of the nectar getting collected on the surface of the moon slowly indicates the amount of the moon seen by us. The white portion of the moon that we see day in day out, that is nothing but the amount of the somarasa collected on the surface of the moon. By full moon day Paurnami, the entire surface of the moon is completely covered by somarasa. Then moon god calls all the devatas who are living in the Bhuvarloka and Svargaloka. He invites everyone, please come and have your regular meal. All the devatas come to the moon planet. They started accepting the somarasa starting from Pratipad after full moon day. Slowly they are eating, they are consuming. By simultaneously moon is accumulating, but they are consuming more than what moon is accumulating. That's why the amount of the moon that we see day by day reducing. So they will continue to accept that somarasa till the noon time of Amavasya. That means 14.5 days they accept it. And the remaining half day, during the second half of Amavasya, they will tell the Pitru Devatas, oh Pitrus, whatever nectar remaining, it is all for you. So the Pitru Devatas, they accept Somarasa during the second half of the Amavasya. In one sense, that is their lunch time. That's why whenever some family member, some Gurasas wanted to offer Shraddha rites for their forefathers, they are recommended to offer generally and during the noon of Amavasya, because that is the lunchtime of the Pitrus. And if they can't do that, at least do during the Pitrupaksha, the 14 days of the 15 days of the Pitrupaksha. So it's like that. So that is the concept of the Pitrus. Pitrus are those who drink the hot vapor of food. That means they are those who are sustaining on the Somaras. Soma Paputa Papa. Yagne Rishta Sargatir Parthayanti. That verse is there, na? The pious people want to go to heaven because they get to drink Somarasa once in every month for 14.5 days. Those who go to main heaven, Divya Swarga, they get to eat Somarasa for 14.5 days. Those who happen to go to Pitraloka, they get to drink Somarasa for half day in a month. Good proposition. So here it is mentioned that then Brahma, thinking himself powerful, created the Sadhyas, and then by his invincibility, he created the Pitrus. By his power, he created the Sadhyas. By his invincibility, he created Pitrus. Both are created together. Both are considered to be one category of the superhuman beings. And we offer Havya to Sadhyas and Kavya to Pitrus. And both these people are given residence in the moon planet. Half of the place is occupied by the Sadhyas, other half is occupied by the Pitrus. And there are 4 categories of Pitrus. Pitrus are 4 brothers basically. The original Pitrus are 4 brothers. They are known as Agnishwatas, Barishadas, Saumyas, and Ajyapas. They are the 4 Pitrus. And all these 4 married Swada, the 15th daughter of Daksha. Daksha had 16 daughters. Out of 16, the 13 were given to Dharma, 14th were given to Agni, 15th was given to the 4 Pitrus. Just like Draupadi married 5 Pandavas, and Marisha married 10 Prachetas, Swada married 4 Pitru Devatas. Of the 4, the Saumyas live in Chandraloka, rule over the seasons. Their service is, they are the representatives of the seasons. And Barishadas are living in Yamaloka. In Yamaloka also there is a Pitruloka that we will discuss when we come to 26th chapter. They are the ruler, they rule over the months. Agnishwatas, they also live in the Yamaloka. They rule over the seasons. Kavyas are Ajyapas. They live in the moon. They rule over the year. Of the 4 Pitrus, Saumyas and Ajyapas living on the moon, and Barishadas and Agnishwatas are living in the second Pitruloka, which is there in the Yamaloka. So this is all about the Pitru Devatas who are living at different places. Okay. It is already 12:26. Hare Krishna, should we stop the class or should we discuss this one topic and close? It is already 4:26 in my watch.
It will take some more time, Project.
Yeah, it will take good amount of time, and there may be some question answers also for this. So we'll discuss this tomorrow, otherwise in the next class.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it tomorrow. Like tomorrow we have this afternoon one session by Radhesham, Malt session.
Okay.
So, either we can have in the morning time, if your time permits, something like regular time of 10:30 to 1:30 like that. Or then like Wednesday we have Jayadut Maharaj here in the afternoon giving class. Thursday
we will have tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, I think I may be having one class from 8 to 9. After 9, I'll be free only. We'll have tomorrow morning only. Don't extend further. We'll complete. Tomorrow will be the last class. We'll complete the entire 3rd part. If time permits, we'll just touch the 4th part. Otherwise, 3rd part is what is their part of our syllabus.
Okay.
3rd part. Yeah.
Then tomorrow we can have at like 10:30 to 1:30 like that.
Yes. Perfect.
With some minutes break in between. Gayatri break.
Yeah. We'll have a small break. Just like today. Perfect. So we'll stop here. So with this, with sun and moon, whatever, if devotees have any questions, we'll take few questions and we'll break for today. The moon landing episode we'll discuss tomorrow.
Prabhu, sun is traveling on Mansottar mountain.
Yes.
Which is exactly, circling around Sumeru mountain.
Yes, yes, perfect.
So how come sun is traveling around Bharat Khanda away from Mansottar mountain?
Chelaka Prabhuji, thoda idhar udhar. See, the distance from the center of Mount Meru to center of Mansuttara is about 12 million yojanas. 12 million. And here to here is about 50,000 yojanas only. वो adjust हो जाएगा थोड़ा इधर उधर adjust करेंगे उसमें क्या.
Okay.
Above means not exactly like okay, perfect mathematical, exactly in the center, not like that. Just above में थोड़ा आगे पीछे हो जाएगा. 50,000 योजनास इधर उधर.
Okay. And
वो
sun,
adjust हो जाएगा.
sun is traveling around Mansottar mountain. What about the moon? Where it is traveling?
Moon is traveling around Bharatkhanda only, here only.
Yeah,
उनका radius 30 योजनास ना.
but does it has some base where it has to travel? Like sun has Mansottar mountain?
हाँ ना, ऐसा कुछ बताया नहीं.
Okay.
Actually, sun is traveling above Manasutra mountain. Sun's chariot wheel is traveling above Manasutra mountain. Sun is much inside. If you see the picture, kahan hai picture? Yeah. See, sun is here. Chariot wheel is here. The distance between the Mount Meru to chariot wheel is 15.75. But the distance between Mount Meru to sun is 11.6 only. Sun is much inside. So in one sense.
All right. And we have heard that ancestors, they are in Pitraloka. So could you please clarify this?
Not all the ancestors, but those who want to go to Pitraloka, they will go to Pitraloka. Yanti Deva, Varta Deva, Pitruni Yanti Pitrunvata, Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja, Yanti Madhyaj Nopimam. The devotees want to go to Krishna Loka, they practice bhakti. And those who people who want to go to Svargaloka, they practice Nishkama Karma Yoga. And those who want to go to Pitraloka, they have certain rules and regulations, certain vratas of Nishkama Karma Yoga. They will go to Pitraloka, not everyone. Every ancestor will go to Pitraloka, not like that. They need to practice that particular sadhana. If we want to go to Goloka Vrindavan, we need to practice Raganuga Bhakti. Without that, one cannot go. So like that.
So when we are offering Pindadan to ancestors, are we offering to Pitras?
No, we don't know wherever they are. It is immaterial wherever they are. We need to offer Shraddha to our ancestors. That is the duty.
And how it reaches to ancestors?
In different means is there. Ramayan batate hai, if your ancestors are in Narakaloka in my abode, a crow will come and eat your offerings. If the crow eats the offerings, it will go to them. That is Yamaraj told. Whoever is there in Yamaloka, they will get the Shraddha if it is eaten by crow. And for Pitraloka, if Shraddha is offered by Vedic mantras, through the potency of the mantra, it will go to Pitraloka, if they are in Pitraloka. Because offering Shraddha also involves chanting mantra. That mantra will carry the offering to the respective place.
Who administers this taking of Pindadan to ancestors?
I don't know.
Okay.
It is a procedure set by Shastra. It is established. There will be some devatas also over that.
Okay.
Who I don't know, but it is a system. It is a universal system established by the Lord himself. So it will be taken care. Somebody will take care.
Okay.
Yes.
Prabhuji, this moon, why it is revolving around the Bharat Khanda? Any explanation is given?
Prabhuji, forget about the moon. Everything above Bhumandala and below Dhruva. Only Dhruva and Bhumandala stationary. Everything in between, they're all revolving, making one round per day.
Yeah, but moon is keeping the Bharat Khanda as the center. That is the reason.
Not only moon, everyone is keeping Bharat Khanda only center. Na? That's what I showed the picture and explained it.
Meru, na?
हर एक का सेंटर का उनका ऑर्बिट का सेंटर लाइन है दैट इज कनेक्टिंग द सेंटर ऑफ द अर्थ एंड पोल स्टार दिस इज द सेंटर ऑफ द ऑर्बिट यू सी ना sun's orbit like this line is perpendicular to this line, this is not perpendicular to this line joining Mount Meru and pole star. Then the sun's orbit would have been like this.
Okay, so so that's something special about Bharat Khanda.
Roji, another thing that Prabhupada would say that according to this chart
Yes.
showing on the screen, what is the route of the sun rotating around Earth? I mean, around Bhumandal. Sorry, Bharat Khanda.
Because you are born here. This is how it is. That's what our acharyas are saying. So we only get objects in the upper space, the outer space, they are all revolving around this line only. This is the center that is fixed. Yeah. Yes,
Okay,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji, and Prabhupada would say that moon is farther than sun. So how to reconcile both?
yes, Prabhu, it is farther, na? ये moon तो ऊपर है. अभी भूमंडल से 1 लाख योजना सन है और 2 लाख योजना मून है. यहाँ से यहाँ 1 लाख, ये प्लेन से ये प्लेन और 1 लाख, 2 लाख है. हाइट वाइज इट्स अबव.
Oh, yes, Prabhuji.
If you see, that's what I mentioned in the beginning. Only in the purport, actually, Prabhupada mentions that moon is above sun. Moon is here. Literally, Prabhupada in the purport he says moon is here. So that's why sun is near and moon is far. That's why Sunday comes before Monday. But अभी moon के ऊपर जाएगा तो Venus आएगा. Venus और Mercury आएगा. Venus मतलब Friday. So Monday के बाद Friday नहीं आएगा. Tuesday आएगा Mars. Mars तो बहुत ऊपर है. That same logic, if you extend, it will not work. So Prabhupada made that statement. Not with everyone, with some people, just to, it is according to the time place circumstance that you don't take it as a eternal reality.
But
Even
moon,
this is not also permanent reality. The moon being here, sun being here is not permanent reality. The details mentioned in the Bhagavatam in other Puranas are all in mentioning the position of the planets on one Makar Sankranti day. On the day of Makar Sankranti, what is the position of all the planets? That is what Vyasadeva written in all the Puranas. अगला कुछ दिन के बाद सन ऊपर जाएगा, मून नीचे आएगा. 15 दिन के बाद मून तो सन के नीचे आएगा, सन ऊपर जाएगा. That's what we have seen na. After 6 months. So be January Makar Sankranti sun is here. Mesh Sankranti sun is here. Tula Sankranti not Tula Karka Sankranti sun is here. So मून तो इधर ही, मकर संक्रांति में इधर है, मून तो इधर ही है, थोड़ा नीचे ये लाइन के थोड़ा ऊपर है. तो मून तो ज्यादा उतना ऊपर नहीं जाएगा. बाद में साल भर मून सन तो ऊपर है. मकर संक्रांति का टाइम पे कुछ दिन मून ऊपर है, बट बाकी साल भर सन ऊपर है, मून नीचे है. सो दैट इज नॉट ए परमानेंट रियलिटी प्रभु. सो डोंट वरी.
Moon is also like a chariot, or it's a
Yes. All the 9 grahas are all chariots like the sun. So the details are not mentioned in the Bhagavatam. They are mentioned in the Vaipurana. In our new book, which we recently published, known as Astronomy of Bhagavad Purana and Sruddhanta, at the end of the book, one appendix, I mentioned about all the details. How many horses are there? What are the colors of those horses? And how and when, in which Rashi, which Nakshatra, the moon, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, they are all born. What are their nature? What they are made up of? Like sun is made up of Agni, moon is made up of water, Earth is made up of Prithvi, like the other planets are made up of air, ether, like that. All the details I mentioned in that book, Prabhuji.
Also for simplification of calculations, we have taken sun as round and moon as round. But
No.
it is, you said that it is Ratna Nida. Ratna Nida is like, cube, you said. So, but for calculation's sake.
Prabhuji, Ratna Nida it's not Ratna Nida, it's Ratna Nida. Ratna Nida means it is in that area we see the sun in a period of year. Sometimes sun comes inside, sometimes sun goes outside, sometimes sun goes upward, downward, aage, piche.
Okay.
In overall year, if we dot, every day if we put a dot, where he is seen like that, he appears in that particular region of the cube. That is called Ratna Nida, not Ratna Nida.
And we take it as round because of simplification of calculation.
Prabhuji, वो दोनों को अलग चीज है प्रभुजी. The round is because sun is like a light. It is a fiery object, fiery ball. We see him as a spherical object. That's why we take him as a spherical globe only.
Okay.
Sun in reality, as a subtle personality, subtle element, it is a chariot in the heavenly abode. But we, for Bhartakanda residents, we only see the light coming out of the sun planet, which is actually a chariot. So we see it as a spherical fiery ball. That's all.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. And sun, Prabhuji, one more last question. The sun has, sun, you said that it is 250 million yojanas on the either side of his presence.
Of the universe.
Universe, yes, Prabhuji. That means universe is itself 500 million yojanas in diameter. So 250 above on either side means it's like it's on the center of universe because it's on the diameter sun.
Sun's plane is exactly in the middle of the universe. Though sun is here on one corner of the Bhumandala, but the plane is exactly in the middle. With respect to this plane,
Okay,
above
250 above and
250 and below 250.
Okay,
It's like
got
that.
it. Thank you. Thank you.
Prabhuji, this 15.75 million yojanas, you told the length of the axle, na?
Yeah, length of the axle, matlab center of Mount Meru to the chariot wheel. The wheel is located just above the mountain. That is 15.75.
Length is same, but the rotation is like 12 million yojanas, like that we are saying.
No, not rotation, Prabhuji. The chariot wheel is at a distance of 15 point here to here 15.75. But sun is here. From here to here only 12. Sun का body रहता है ना, body अंदर है.
So that is 12 million yojanas.
हाँ, that is only 12. ये मैं दिखाया था ना पिक्चर में अभी कहाँ है? Okay, see the black line from here to here 12 and here to here 15.75. मतलब इधर से इधर उतना अंदर है. Chariot wheel से 3.5 million योजना अंदर है. सूर्यदेव.
Okay, so but this 12 million yojanas is actually from the line connecting from Dhruva to the Earth. The 12 million yojanas radius.
Yes.
That perpendicular to that line.
हो सकते हैं. See, थोड़ा approximation, Prabhuji, don't get into exact details. When I say 12, it could be 11.9, it could be 12.1 also. थोड़ा आगे पीछे round figures. Scriptures always talk about round figures.
You have shown it 12 from Meru, but basically.
Yeah, it could be from Meru also. It could be from the center of Bhartakanda also, because the inside कितना है? 0.5 only ना.
Correct.
So Meru to Bhartakanda is only 0.5. It could be 11.5. It could be 12.5 also. But what is the average? 12.
Okay.
It's okay. You can take either way.
Yes, please.
Approximately, it is 12 million yojanas, like that.
Prabhuji, you also said that only on Sankranti day, this all planetary positions are described. I also heard that it is 5,000 years before when Sukadeva Goswami was speaking to Parikshit that Sankranti or that place. But now so many years have passed, the planetary positions and all might also, I mean, I'm just adding another dimension. Is my understanding right?
No dimension required. Okay, हमेशा ऊपर नीचे जाते रहता है. The sun goes up and down in every 1 year. 6 months it goes above and 6 months it comes down. The moon goes above by 15 days. In 15 days it comes down. And Mars, it takes 7.75. Okay, almost literally 1 year, almost 11 months to go above, 11 months to come down. And Venus and Mercury also takes 1 year to go up and 6 months to go up and 6 months to come down. Jupiter will take 6 years to go up, 6 years to come down. Saturn will take 15 years to go up, 15 years to come down. That's all. हर एक को टाइम है प्रोजी. उतना टाइम में उतना ऊपर जाते नीचे आते, ऊपर नीचे सब लोग जाते आते. All 9 planets. Even Rahu Ketu also, for 9 years they go up, for 9 years they come down. सबको अपना अपना टाइम है ऊपर नीचे आने के लिए. सब कुछ है.
Thank you.
No need of 4th dimension, 5th dimension. 3 काफी है. 3 से बहुत गड़बड़ हो रहा है. So if you are interested in knowing more details, you please read astronomy book. So that book all talks about all these details.
Probably in that video, it was shown that the sun gets its energy by evaporating the waters. The fuel is water.
हाँ, yes ना. अभी देखो, अभी मैं बताया था ना, moon is taking all the evaporated water goes to moon. Yes or no?
Yeah. Yes.
So moon is creating Somarasa. So on the Paurnami day, everyone is called. And sun is also one among the everyone. He drinks in Somarasa from the day after Paurnami all the way up to the noon of Amavasya. So उनका भोजन है वो.
Okay.
उसके बिना कैसे काम होता है? ब्रेकफास्ट लंच डिनर के बिना काम होता नहीं हमारा.
But we also mentioned that they all are self-sufficient. They don't need anything from Earth.
They don't need it. No, not like that. No. They need, Baba. They need everything. That's why you please remember Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 text number 10.
Yeah.
Sahajna praja sushta purovacha prajapati anena prasiddham esavo isti ishta kamaduk. there is a dependency created between the devatas and human beings by the process of yajna. When we perform yajna, one way the devatas are nourished is through somarasa. Other way the devatas are nourished through yajna. When we perform yajna, when we say idam indraya swa idam nama idam chandraya swa idam nama surya vinasa idam nama, there is actually the offering goes to the Surya, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, all the devatas. They are nourished by that. Then they become happy and they will give us rain, wind, air, all these things. Then we are nourished. Then we are happy and we perform yajna, and they are happy and they give rain. We are performing yajna, we are happy, all these things. It is a mutual dependency system is there. It is not that okay, they are self-sufficient, उनको कुछ नहीं चाहिए, मून पे सोमरस मिल रहा है और कुछ नहीं चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं. उनको ये भी चाहिए, वो भी चाहिए, वो भी सब चाहिए.
Okay.
So it is like that.
And the sun's movement you're going to explain in the next class?
If time is there, the movements and all is beyond your syllabus. But anyway, we'll discuss this third part of the presentation. We'll have to complete all the way up to 26th chapter. If time permits, we'll show some animations, how it happens and all. May not be detailed discussion. So we'll stop here, Prabhuji. 5 o'clock I have a class, I have to go. So
Yes, sir.
now it is already 45. So thank you very much for giving this opportunity. So we'll continue tomorrow morning, 10:30, 10:45, Prabhuji, 10:30.
What suits you, boy? 10:45 is good for you, 10:30 is good.
No, I'm okay. 10:30 okay. जल्दी चालू होता है, जल्दी खत्म हो जाएगा. I'm fine.
Okay.
Fine. Thank you very much.